Scott Narver, it was Wrestlemania this weekend.
Jake Lloyd Bacon, super exciting. All kinds of surprises, too.
I know, I can't believe who Randy Orton's mystery opponent was.
Yeah, the internet was thrilled.
Mark Henry.
No, Joe Hendry.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Mark Henry. He's got that song, I Believe in Mark Henry.
Did you even watch WrestleMania?
On Saturday.
It was 2 nights.
Wait, what?
WrestleMania 41 Fallout, today on Pro Wrestling Palskis.
Hey, Scott Narver.
Hey, Jake Lloyd Bacon.
Hello to everybody out there joining us in the PW Universe.
Pew, pew, pew.
It's going to catch on, I swear.
Like a fungus.
It is a very special day here. It is a rare Monday recording because it is the day after Mania.
Yes.
And we're just popping on the live stream
To get them clicks, to get everybody that they're like, oh, what? But what did WrestleMania mean to 2 white guys in their 40s? What did it mean to them? And so we can really give our expertise.
I love it. We're also we're doing the live stream just public, not behind the Patreon paywall. Just as a fun little surprise
We
for the
are
day.
exposing ourselves.
We're exposing ourselves, and I'm already warmed in the cockles and the sub-cockles of my heart because I am seeing in the chat so many returns WrestleMania weekend, night after Mania Raw.
What the shit? It's not after the night after Mania Raw.
I know, but
it's
in
the
spirit,
nights before Mania SmackDown.
in the spirit of that, the return of Nuggets in the chat.
Shut the shit.
No, I won't
No
shut the
way.
shit. I want to keep the shit all the way open.
That's crazy.
Hi, Nuggets, and hi to everybody joining us.
Wow.
Very, very, very fun to have a full house in the chat. What a weekend.
Is the night after Mania Christmas? For Nuggets to return?
I mean, Christmas is whenever you want it to be.
Is that true?
When the Lord lives in your heart.
Oh,
I know, that's what my mom used to say when we were young.
really?
Yeah.
The Lord's in your heart. Good night. Huh?
Why does my chest hurt all the time? The Lord's in your heart.
The Lord's in your heart.
Jeez Louise.
He's got a crown of thorns, so don't move too much.
Speaking of moving, a lot of people moved.
Speaking of crown of thorns, we had one of those at Mania.
Was that in the street fight? I missed that.
Oh, Jesus.
I
Don't worry about it. We'll get to it.
I thumbed it. What else do we usually do at the top of these? I want to get into Mania really quickly. Oh, we must acknowledge Tony Griggs, current PWP champ for the month of April. Tony Griggs defends that title against all patrons in May, assuming that is the month that comes next.
Yeah. And for our Patreon for all of 2025, it's only $5 to join.
For everything.
Get you everything that's in our Patreon, all the archives, all the latest stuff, all the watch-alongs. And
video watch-alongs. We have a really special video watch-along for this week.
Yeah, and at the end of this year, we're going to do a WrestleMania match from WrestleMania 41.
Yeah.
Only you can guess what it'll be, and I won't tell you. And then at the end of the year, we're doing for all the champions that have won the Battle Royal. They will win a wonderful grand prize of stuff and goodies and things. So that's all part of that. So just want to get that out there. Right. And then also we're going to talk WrestleMania right now.
Right now.
Post show, I'm going to give you a little life update of things going on that might change a couple things up, but
not post show, just at the end of the show. We're not going to wait until we're done.
At the end of WrestleMania review that we'll do.
Yeah, lots of things to chat about.
But we want to keep it fun, talk about Mania for a while.
They're already getting into it in the chat. I love this. So,
hey's everywhere.
So our expectations going in from last week for just broad strokes up top.
Yeah.
Is I was like, wow, night 2 seems like a clunker. I was like, night 2, I was really only 2 things I was really interested in.
Yeah.
And I was really stoked on night 1. As far as like looking at the card and seeing the matches, I think this is going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, oh boy, was it the reverse as far as entertainment went.
Is that right?
I feel like, not to say that night 1 was bad, but I felt like
the first half of a 7.5 hour show wasn't up to your liking.
It might just be that it's worse to be let down, and then it like
That's true.
and it's really, really, really great to have something exceed your expectations. Like when something that you really
cracked the code on this one, buddy.
Have I discovered human?
Yeah, I think so.
I can human now?
Even dog expectations.
Wow, shit. Guys, I'm pretty emotionally involved.
Yeah. Fortune Cookie Company, here he comes.
In bed.
Mhm.
But you know what I'm trying to get at. Like, when you're really looking for something and it's bad, even if it's just good, but it's not
You're
great,
like,
it's just like, it stings. And when you're like, yeah, I'll watch this.
Well, I guess I'll try again tomorrow.
Right, exactly.
For a quarter of the day.
But yeah, I mean, all in all, I mean, night 2 was not that it didn't also have some clunkers, but for the most part, like it was an exciting evening.
I found night 1 to be more consistent.
Sure, okay.
And then night 2 for me was, all right, the first half is pretty good. Oh, fucking major drop off.
I agree on that. I wish that we could take the ending of night 1 and smack it onto the ending of night 2.
Oh, it ended far before that for me.
Sure,
it was like
fair.
a halfway mark where I go,
Fair.
All right, well, I guess I'm out.
All right, well, let's start in. Do you have do you want to go match by match?
I got the whole shebang.
I'll let you guide us here.
So yeah, if you can be more of the guide of the chat and let us know
Yeah.
if there's things in there. So yeah, we'll start off with night 1. Overall, there's some things of Mania. I think we can get into and dissect as we go. So there's a lot of people saying like it didn't feel like WrestleMania overall, but this is a different regime now, and this overall was just like a really big PLE.
Yeah,
there wasn't
sure.
a lot of usual WrestleMania things, but we'll get into that as we go along. I don't have where the Hall of Fame is and all that shit.
Yeah,
but
that's fine.
we start off with Gunther versus Jey Uso for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Very exciting.
I mean, I think we guessed that this is what would start. And it was, a great spot to start. The second this wasn't the card, I was like, all right, well, now we definitely know. I felt like it predicted the outcome of the match
right
on its placement, which is not always a bad thing.
No.
This match, I was one of the ones that I was like, this is going to be make or break for Jay because Gunther doesn't have bad matches.
No.
And I've always been, iffy on Jay's singles matches. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad, sometimes they're just like running through the motions. I was let down by this match. I kind of felt like this was the first match that Gunther's had in a while where I was just like, yeah, I didn't feel the things I usually feel during a Gunther match. Whether that was Jay's fault or just the arena and, I don't mean the arena itself, but the stage, so to speak.
There was a weird middle section to it for sure where it felt like, well, what did we just stop? Why did we all stop and we're kind of resetting into something that Gunther got showy to the crowd a little bit afterwards? There was a weird middle section, and then ultimately I thought it was a fine match. It was okay.
Sure.
But the end struck me odd.
It was
with no blood of Jey Uso getting so vengeful that he bloodies Gunther. So that element's not there, which is fine. It doesn't have to be there, but he tapped him out out of nowhere
and quickly with not a lot of fight.
Yeah.
I felt like,
what was that?
If all things considered as they were, if Gunther would have just like done the old pass out or he fought out of it, but then he got into it and he starts fading and eventually he just is forced to give up, then I would have been like, okay, at least the ending was exciting, but it felt like it ended so abruptly.
If you do something, if Jimmy shows up at ringside, right, and he's there, and then Gunther's going for the ropes, and maybe one other somebody, right, like have somebody else there as well that's supporting Jay, and then Gunther is being choked out and goes for the ropes, and the ref is distracted by somebody else,
right,
and then Jay is then like breaks his hand and pulls the rope away. Something where it's like,
gotcha.
Fuck you, man.
Right.
You're going to be choked out. And Gunther is in the choke too long to do anything about it. But it's like, I followed the rules. I broke out. So he has something to bitch about later.
Right.
That they all fucked me over. And then he actually gets choked out.
Right.
Weird that it went down the way it did, because Jay is such an exciting guy with the splash.
So is Gunther, apparently.
Yeah, so it was odd that it doesn't end with the spectacular move that Jey Uso does.
Yeah, Mickey Bell in the chat says Kaiser and Jimmy both could have been at ringside. Matt Lucas says should have just been a splash off of all four corners. He was already 3/4 of the way there. Yeah. There's an ending too that I just popped into my head that I don't know that I've ever seen, which I think would be kind of a fun misdirect too, is because Gunther is so tall, big, even though like he's not as big as he used to be. By the way, still miss thick Gunther. You can set your watch by me saying that. But you know, it's been a while since we've had the arm lift, right?
Yep.
And they always do the 2, and then on the third one, the guy is still with it.
Yep.
Well, what if he does that and Gunther like snaps 2, and as he's lifting his arm for the third one, he then realizes he can't take it anymore and he immediately taps. Like a fun misdirect where it's like, oh, he survived, but then it's like a quick tap out. Something that's
It's
like a
just weird
psychological
when
thing.
Jay's not a submission guy.
Sure.
There's no precedent for him doing that. And then to get a guy who does it,
Right.
it's just, it falls as weird.
You know, yeah. Maybe he's trying to do like, remember when Ziggler was like, I'm just going to do sleepers for a while.
Yeah. And I remember fast forwarding because I was falling asleep.
They worked.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I think the consensus is kind of there that this was a wonky ending to what is. And here's the thing is that when the music is playing and he's holding the title, I'm like, yeah, great. Like the emotion is there.
Yeah.
But they didn't tell the story to get to that emotion to the point where I cared during the match.
And with the character, you go, wait, you choke that guy out?
Right.
I've never seen that before. You're the guy that did that?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Sure.
it seems
Was Gunther like, oh, it's hot out here. I'm done.
tired.
I'm done. I don't want to do the press conference. I don't want to wait around for 4 hours and get drunk and then do a press conference and put on yeet glasses so I have to disguise it.
Right. Well, that was how the whole shebang started.
Mickey Bell says tapped out way too soon.
Yeah.
In the chat here. Nugget said Wrestlemania. Am I right? As a meh.
Alex Pierce is trying to get my attention. Hi, Alex. He just keeps saying Jake. I have a feeling I know what the follow-up is going to be.
What is it?
He's going to ask if we can start over because he just got here.
Oh, well, we have to oblige.
We always, hi. He just says hi. Hi, Alex.
So, yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, it was okay. And it was,
it's nothing offensive, but it didn't fit.
It didn't feel like the culmination of the rivalry that they showed in the video package before it.
Yes. Or if you're watching it on the version that is the $5 version,
right?
It's very odd. So now I got a little bit more information of how Peacock does it.
Right.
So with the $5 one, they will just cut out all video packages.
Right. And just show you the commercials there so that they don't have to add to the length of the program.
It's a weird punishment because it's like, well, you paid less money, so now you won't be as invested into this show.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, as I watch it, if I don't like it that much because I'm not invested, why would I pay more money?
I mean, here's my question though. What's the alternative? Them cutting to that in the middle of a match, or, like where do the commercials go to replace that? Because they got to go somewhere.
Entrances.
Oh, really? You would cut entrances?
Do a picture in picture and you see the entrance. No matter what, like I don't take away
I don't know they have that kind of technology.
Yeah.
Because it's like a preload. It's that thing. No, I mean it literally. Like it's not, because it's not a built-in commercial in the stream. It's a sort of thing where your stream stops and it loads whatever region you're in, whatever, like it, the commercials are not built in, burned into the actual stream like it's television.
They can figure it out.
I don't know. Maybe.
Netflix, people do it. It's fine.
Maybe.
They'll figure it out.
Alex is trying to get your attention now. He's giving Scott.
Yes.
Scott.
So I saw no video packages.
Right.
So
interesting.
It's a weird.
There were some good ones too.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
This week's watch along is us watching all the video packages for Mania.
I'll do it.
And being like, shh, quiet, I'm trying to listen.
So a lot of enthusiasm and energy. People were thrilled that, Jay won. And this is a tricky spot. Your match number 2 now to go like, all right, follow that because we had a world title to start.
Right.
And we got a lot of world titles to go, everybody.
Yeah.
Because that's the world. The War Raiders versus the New Day. And for the WWE, one of the tag team championships. This was strange. There were a lot of things throughout the show where I go, well, Vince would never have allowed this said or done on the show.
Okay.
Sometimes it's right and sometimes it's wrong. This felt like a time when it was wrong. When Michael Cole says Xavier Woods is 0-6 at WrestleMania and Kofi's like 2-13 or something.
Wow.
And you go, so they suck?
Right. They're the underdogs, the greatest tag team of all time that you've been telling us for the past 10 years.
Yeah, they're one of the best and they fucking suck at Mania.
I mean,
it was a weird stat to give out rather than to just say they've been at,
well, maybe
7 WrestleManias or 10 WrestleManias.
Yeah, maybe it's just because of the the fact that they're heels now. So it's like, yeah, we don't need to build them up. We can make them. Yeah,
Just there's
I
so
get
many.
that.
I
didn't catch that moment. I missed that. So
there's a lot I cut out, but occasionally something came through and I go, oh, cool, go for it, losers.
So Mickey says, why was this match on the card?
Why not?
I honestly, I enjoyed this match. I actually I like this a little bit more. I was like, this should have started. I don't know. There was a little bit more energy, a little more excitement to it. I really think that the New Day wrestling as heels, they're really good at it. Like they do a good job of playing a heel in the ring in a way that I was worried that they wouldn't be able to do. I guess more so about Kofi. I wasn't as worried about Xavier because he's good at that stuff. But I enjoyed it. I dug it.
I want there to be tag team still. So if you remove this, there would have been one tag team match of a real tag team and a makeup tag team on the night.
Yeah.
So I was all for this. I thought Ivar really pulled it out at one point because it felt, sometimes you feel that energy where you go, okay, it's a stadium show and you never quite know the gauge yet unless people are standing and making crazy noise.
Right.
If they're just kind of sitting on their hands going like, yeah, we'll wait.
Right.
We're not really into this. It's fine.
Right.
But when Ivar did that move where he fucking threw his body against the New Day on the ring apron screen, that got everybody like, whoa, hey, we're doing something here for this match. Like, oh, okay, we're in.
Right.
And I was in. I got sucked into.
Yeah.
And I thought they did a solid job.
The sound of that was brutal.
I thought they did a solid job overall of like pacing, going, doing stuff, tagging, and doing as good as you could for number 2 match. Not a lot of build.
No.
And you're trying to make something out of it. And it was perfectly acceptable. It was fine. My favorite part was the detail at the end of the New Day. After they won, they did a throwback of, they didn't stand around in the ring and celebrate.
Right.
They fucking stole that victory. And so they ran.
Yep.
They stole it. They got out of there and they ran up the ramp and were just fucking
dogging up top of the ramp. Yeah. That was great.
That was great because you don't see that much anymore and they own that moment. So that was solid.
Yeah. Yeah. I dug it. I was pleased with the victory. I like that they did. I like that it was shady and it was, it was perfect. This was a perfect way for the New Day to submit. I like their gear. I love the evil unicorns and like it all worked. I did not think that this would work the way it is working, and it's fucking great.
Yeah, for all people did not have sort of a grandiose WrestleMania entrance anymore.
Right.
That New Day, or even we fucking see Drew McIntyre later doing the
something for a video
Doom game, and here are the guys who are fucking Vikings. It's like, yeah, we have LARPing gear now.
Right.
We have big plasticky foam looking shit. It's like,
right.
Oh, that's sad looking.
Yeah, I feel like their
looks
old
like
stuff,
Brian Cage made that for you.
Their old stuff, the NXT gear looked better.
Yeah, everything looked better. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, there was definitely some wonkiness as far as the presentation this year.
That felt like they drew straws and all right, someone has to wear the foam bullshit. Oh, Viking Raiders.
We ran out of
Raiders.
We ran out of our metal budget.
Yeah. Our stuff got taken at the airport. Sorry.
Is there a local cosplayer in Vegas that we can call up?
Yay! Oh no, this shit sucks. So yeah, I thought that one was fine. Next up, match wise, we had Jade Cargill versus Naomi.
Yeah, Jade is still feels green. And I will say this, Naomi, I actually think, despite still lacking, she's still doing a little bit too much dancing. And I actually think that she's better as a villain. Like there's just a little bit more intensity when she's not like
bringing a toilet seat to the ring.
Well, that too. But when she's not just like smiling at the audience after getting hit every 20 seconds. And like this, her forcing herself to kind of at least be in mean character, even if she still like is lacking some of the instantaneousness to her intensity of all of her moves. It's at least like tricking the rest of her body to move a little bit more intense than it generally would. It's that whole thing of like, if you're in a bad mood, smile even, and then you'll trick your body to think you're happy. I think that like she's
Are you trying to tell a woman to smile?
No, I'm trying to tell you.
Jesus Christ.
I'm trying to tell you.
Oh. No thanks.
But I think that you get what I'm trying to say. Like, I think that like she's naturally being a little bit more intense than she usually is just because she's mean mugging.
Right.
And it's working.
Yeah, she's playing something else and doing something else. Hold on. We've skipped over something major here.
What did we skip over? The fact that they didn't change the
No.
ring apron for Naomi, so it was still all bright and glittery and everything else was really dark?
No.
Okay, sorry.
We got a weather update.
Oh, I didn't. I muted. I was in the middle. I was watching this and working at the same time, and when I was pretty much just watching the matches, I didn't see what this was.
This was one of the I can't believe it. It's one of the worst fucking things I've ever seen for Mania. And this is
a low bar.
This is a post Vince era where you go, oh shit, other people signed off on this and they all went, we got it. That nailed it. I'm assuming it's a real Weather Channel guy because
like some
didn't
Vegas
look modelly
person.
or super ripped.
Right.
But they had a Weather Channel polo,
Okay.
Weather Channel microphone with the mic flag on it. And the intro's probably 45 seconds to a minute of, hey, everybody, I'm outside of Las Vegas, outside the Allegiant Stadium, and the weather's looking okay. But, I see now the clouds are coming, and it's not good. It's not funny. It's not over the top. It's just fucking bad.
Nuggets disagrees with you.
Really?
Nuggets says the weather update had it rolling.
In a good way, or you're laughing at it because it's so fucking terrible. That's what needs to be.
Was this?
I laughed a lot, too, and I went, why would you do this to Jade?
I just realized was this for Jade?
Yes, because he was telling you
even put that together.
A storm is coming.
Right, I didn't even get that.
Jade's a super fucking badass, awesome person, and here's this dork going like, hey, little bear, look out. And then green screen storm effects happening all behind him.
AEW could do something very funny right now with Tony Storm. Cut to like a makeshift weather thing with like a bad green
screen. Has to be
screen.
Black and white.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like old timey weather.
Luther could do it. I howled too.
I honestly thought that it was a sponsorship commercial, so I just checked out of it. I didn't realize it was like a bit for Mania.
Oh, it was a bit. This was the fucking bit that they did. All the stuff we wanted of LA Knight talks to the ring or does anything.
Right.
This was the conglomeration. Triple H is like, that's fucking good.
Nugget says, no, in a how is this real way? This is some 90s new generation nonsense.
Yes, totally. It's you have to see it. It's so fucking crazy.
Alex is upset. He says, you check out of the sponsorship commercials?
Yeah, didn't you see all these wrestlers not eat a Snickers bar and some other tool did?
I had to work.
Oh, man.
I was clocking in and out of the more important moments.
No, those are the important moments. You always got to see those.
Listen, that's why they have replays.
Holy shit. So, yeah, that was a hell of a moment. And then Jade comes out and you go, those two things don't go together.
Right. No.
It's not even someone that you might associate with her or just something fun.
Alex Pierce. 5 people work for weeks on that.
And then, yeah, I was disappointed that this wasn't Jade just fucking squashing Naomi, getting revenge.
Right.
There was no, I think Jade's still awesome in a lot of ways, but she was happy-go-lucky coming to the ring. It's like, yeah, you're
intense though.
This is the woman that put you out for months.
It's supposed to be a blood rivalry. Yeah,
and I remember just thinking about Goldberg at the time, and I know there's a lot of people in our Discord and stuff that just don't like Goldberg. I know you're one that doesn't like Goldberg, but every fucking match that Goldberg would have when he's this fucking monster, every time it looks like he's Charles Bronson in Death Wish.
Right.
And whoever he's fighting did all the things that happened to Bronson's fucking family in Death Wish.
Right.
And they didn't. A couple of them did something bad, but he's out to kill. And sometimes I think that's not, Jade isn't finding the right moments to do the happy-go-lucky. Especially the tag team stuff worked great.
She's such a star. Like, she's got all of that it factor that you look for.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's about like what's happening inside, I think. And I think that's the disconnect right now.
It kind of reminds
me of an early Charlotte. Like when Charlotte started and it felt like she was playing wrestler until it just clicked one day.
Yeah.
And it was like all of a sudden it's like, oh no, like, and I'm just waiting for that click to happen where it's like, you're still just playing pro wrestler. You're doing the entrance, you're hitting your marks, you're doing the flex, but like inside I can see in your eyes, you're going, okay, 3, 2, okay, what part of the song is this? Okay, and stand here, and turn in, and then this, and God, I hope my eyelash isn't going to fall off. Yeah.
It was at the top of the ramp, maybe the middle of the ramp, like you're happy, you say hi to everybody, but then fucking lock eyes with Naomi and let it change. And then just go in and fucking destroy.
With that said, there were some highlights too. Like that catch to the vertical was awesome. There was some...
It blew Wade Barrett's mind that a human being could catch another human being in midair.
I mean...
He went nuts.
Did he really?
Oh my God. What the fuck happened? It was so weird.
I don't know. I thought that it had some moments that made me go, oh yeah, this is what I want. But it's the stuff you're talking about. It's the moments where they made Jade look like a monster. But at the end of the day, it was fine. I don't know that this was a Mania caliber match.
No,
but
and there was that scary moment where the ending where Jade does the one crazy move to her and then rolls her and the ref's like, all right, I'm going to count.
Then
and then
she
she's like,
just
no, I
picks
have
her
to do
back
the
up.
other one.
Yeah.
And then she does her little thing.
Yep,
Again, the moment of like, oh, I have to hit this. Like, all right.
Yeah. You could have pinned her after that first one. We all would have been satisfied.
If you give Jade half the stuff to do, it's going to look better and
100%.
cooler and be more awesome. And I don't want Naomi to ultimately be squashed and put her away, but this felt like this is the one time you could have done it. And then she is coming back and going like, all right, so I underestimated Jade.
Listen, Daniel Bryan was squashed at Mania and made it great. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not, it doesn't have to be necessarily the curse, but.
Or she runs away and Jade finally catches her and then does something to her, fucks her up, and then she's out. Right. So just a lot of comeuppance is what I was ultimately looking for.
Right.
This didn't feel like Naomi got her comeuppance.
Yeah, no, I agree. It definitely just felt like honestly, this felt like a Raw match with fancy entrances. Yeah.
So not terrible, but I don't think it made either one look the way they should have looked outside of Mania. Right. Then we get LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu for the United States title.
And the people woke up.
Oh, yeah.
This delivered like we thought it would.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And the people, the difference between even Jay's match, the win was huge.
Mm-hmm.
But like during the match, the reactions were just sort of like, okay. And it's kind of what you said, maybe because it was a wonky middle section. But
wonky middle section. And all right, can we just get to yeeting again?
But they were everything. Literally every move that both of these guys did was just raucous. It was awesome.
The logic. Well, let's go back to the entrances a little bit.
Because that was the only downside.
Part. I don't think Triple H is very good at the grand scheme of entrances.
But not when it's him. Not when it's not him, rather.
The first of two cars.
And by the way, like if you're
that
not
neither wrestler drives.
Exactly. It's just like when I wrote in the Discord when it happened, I was like, when LA got to like I wrote, all right, thanks, Dad. I'll tell you when to pick me up.
Yeah. Why is it not okay? It's a fucking production guy with a headset on. Like,
I know.
Why
put him in a suit, make him a chauffeur?
No, or get a hot chick.
Oh yeah, driving the car. Yeah, why not?
It's LA Knight is super fucking cool. It's Vegas, like not someone fucking stylish.
Or get like a Vegas,
like the feel of like he gets a little smooch on the cheek as he comes out or something like.
Or get like a Vegas like show person. Like I don't know who. I mean, Penn.
You talking like a stripper?
Penn Jillette. I was trying to think
want
of
Penn Jillette in a bikini to give him a kiss?
Yes. Don't you?
And Teller as a special guest ring announcer?
I want Penn.
That's a good joke.
Oh, fuck. That's a really good one. I'd rather them just both doing commentary and him constantly saying like, what do you think, Teller?
I think there were missed details in the entrance for this to make it look cooler.
Right. And then
Jacobs was fucking gnarly.
See, I thought that mask was awful. I thought the mask was
of all the masks we saw for WrestleMania. I thought his worked the best.
It looked so cartoony, though. It was scary when he took the mask off. It was scarier.
Well, right,
but I think we've seen Cody's before, and
this was a new robotic one.
I know, but
that he hated immediately. He's like, I can't see.
I don't know.
That one worked for me.
It looked too like
because it looks like he made it in prison.
I don't think it did. I think it was too cartoony, personally.
And then Solo was there with him initially.
I dug that.
It was cool to see Solo have that energy.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for that.
Like excited for his, for the love of his life.
It felt like someone told him, hey, you're going to fight Randy Orton tomorrow. I was like, fuck yeah. You're going to go out. I'm going to do the thing tomorrow. This is going to be great.
Right. But no, it was, I mean, like, yeah. The place erupted. The place was so excited. They were split. People were just as behind Jake Fatu as they were for fucking LA Knight. That was fun.
This felt like the first match of the night where we don't know which way it's going to go.
Right.
It could go LA Knight. It could go Jacob. Everything else was pretty obvious.
Right.
And even if the tag team won, it's like, it could go either way, but we're not that invested in it.
Sure.
Both guys are fine. This was also the beginning of Jacob Fatu doing the move that everyone then does later on in both nights of the whatever that is, the jump up to do on the turnbuckles,
like a springboard to a springboard,
to the moonsault. Fuck it, just the logic. I'm trying to remember the pieces because Jacob does one of those, I think, and then LA Knight hits his finisher on him.
Right. Oh, and that was the only thing that was unfortunate. Was I don't know what it was supposed to look like. I don't think
The replay shows it better.
does. Okay.
Yes. And they show one later.
It's still, here's the thing is like, they didn't harp on it. These guys, they moved with such a, like this, they were in a fight the entire time.
Yes.
And I feel like it didn't quite go as planned. At least I thought it didn't. And it was wonky. But here's the thing. Even if LA Knight didn't touch him, even if he just got out of the way, like the landing alone is kind of brutal, especially for a guy Jacob Fatu's size.
Mm-hmm.
So it still sold, and then they moved immediately on. So that was the only thing I was like, oh, kind of unfortunate.
It went to that pin
right
where Jacob grabs the rope.
Right.
Which
not a kick out.
That's the only nitpicky thing I would do of it, and is cover because LA Knight hooked the outside leg, and this is all after the fact. Like I'm nitpicking something that couldn't necessarily foresaw.
Sure.
Hook the inside leg,
right,
and then Jacob do that kind of like I'm kicking,
right.
and then the foot ends up on the rope.
Yeah.
Rather than he was conscious enough and a bad guy to just grab the rope.
Almost like he kind of got lucky.
Yeah. So. But the start of this match,
or more so, not he got lucky, but that LA Knight got unlucky.
Yeah,
that would have been better. Even if it was just
flipping out,
even if his leg was just through the rope.
Yeah,
like he just went for the pin 1-2, and the ref is pointing, and by the time he pulls him in to get into the middle, Jacob has shook it off. Yeah,
but I love the start of this that LA Knight went after the body.
Yeah,
he wasn't going after that. He wasn't punching the head. He punched the body. He's doing shoulder thrusts to the body, and then occasionally he's trying the finisher to his head to get that quick flash knockout.
Right.
And otherwise he's smart. He knows don't punch Samoan in the head.
And
we learned this from wrestling.
Yeah, it's only been 40 years of this. But no, yeah, he fought him like a underweight boxer fights where it's just like,
take out his gas tank.
Yeah, exactly.
So really cool. And then Jacob gets him, and then Haku does an impression of Zack Ryder's dad and shows up, and I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
Because even the camera is like, who's
this guy?
Why are you here? Are you going to the ring?
Right.
But that one over-delivered, I felt.
And the audience went apeshit when Jacob Fatu won. I was not expecting, but I think it was like a truly split audience, and it's one of those things where even the people who were rooting for LA Knight could not believe that Jacob Fatu is the U.S. champion. Like, talk about such an immediate. There's something too, like, at the Hall of Fame on Friday, and the whole weekend, everybody's been talking about like, man, like look at the card and like. Look at all the stars that feel like they're all kind of new and exciting. And it is kind of true because the amount of people who like weren't with the company not that long ago, or that were like NXT upstarts that were company made, like, I feel like the thing that we complained about for a really long time is kind of in the rearview mirror. Like they are making stars like left and right. Whereas it felt for a while where it was like, all right, who can we possibly get to come back for any Mania match? Where now it's just like, grab somebody. The fans are into them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the chat, let's see here. Mike Lucas says, Jacob Fatu can do no wrong by me. Nugget says, Jacob is so much better than Solo. It's embarrassing.
Wow.
I don't disagree. Let's see.
Mike Lucas says, the lack of Solo's involvement was surprising. Yeah, I to an extent, but also I think there's something about the Jacob Fatu part of the bloodline or whatever that like, that's the one person who the other people don't help. Jacob Fatu should be there to help out for Solo's matches and be involved, but it's not in the other way, because I feel like then it undermines him being the powerhouse and being the one who like doesn't need any, like he's the one that everybody else has to call for help.
I think you still just play that out on TV. You do the moment of like Solo's like, I'm going with you, and then Jacob goes like, no,
right,
go back. I'm
right.
Like, whoa, were you sure? Like, yeah, go back and just do that moment, because this was a show with no pre-interviews. No checking in with anybody at any point. Like, just have that moment, because clearly on this night, it is about one manager being in someone's corner.
Right.
And that's a big deal.
Yeah.
So go ahead and just have a moment where he takes him to the back and goes like, I got it. And then Solo can have some doubts or whatever.
Right.
Just do that small little moment.
Right. Yeah, I will say this match made me go, all right, we could have nixed the first two on the card. I mean, and I feel bad because it's Jay and Gunther, but still, I was like, yeah, it felt so much bigger, even though it's a mid-card title.
It's this era of WWE and, all things where there's too many titles.
Yes.
So it screws up a running order of a show.
Right.
So what a Jay and Gunther match would be later, because it's a climactic big deal, we start off with it, and then you have to go up and down and up
it's
and down.
a roller coaster.
It's
No crescendo.
yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's
Right.
where it is at this point.
I feel like between the two nights, maybe we'll do this at the end. I feel like between the two nights, we could have made like a perfect WrestleMania card. But like trimming.
like making one night.
Yeah. But like
how they used to work,
like
and then have
which matches. Like it'd be interesting to see which we pick.
Then we get into replacement. They announced just before the show because Rey Mysterio got hurt on SmackDown's taping, so he was out for his match with El Grande Americano. So Rey Fenix stepped in.
Yeah.
So they didn't treat it as a surprise. They announced it as on the morning of.
I mean,
and
what
a fucking coup for Rey Fenix.
I mean, you just stepped into WrestleMania.
Yeah, Ray for Ray.
They're like, does he have the same name? Does that count?
Yeah.
The promo package before this match, which you didn't see, I'm sure you saw an ad for, fucking Cricket Wireless or something, but it was so good. It's so funny to me. They did such a good job with the history of Grande Americano.
El Grande.
Sorry. Fuck. I was all aboard it. It was so fun, and I was immediately invested. This is a great and the entrance. When we were picking who was going to have the live band entrance,
right.
Neither one of us thought it was going to be El Grande Americano.
No. And the Creed brothers weren't even playing anything.
The Creed brothers weren't playing anything? Oh, right.
Yeah.
Man, this was perfect for Mania. This is the palate cleanser, but also not like
it's not terrible by any stretch.
Yeah, it's not one of those things where it's like so bad. It's not a bathroom break. It was really funny. They sold it great. All the shtick with him putting shit in his mask, and it was fucking great. Like
he busted out that fucking crazy 450, but going in reverse.
The 450 backflip.
Yeah.
What? That was insane.
That was super nuts. Rey Fenix looked great too.
I mean,
it felt going into you go, I don't know, was Rey supposed to win this? It felt like overall,
right.
It played out the way it was going to play out with Rey.
Right. I think they just wrestled the same match, except there wasn't a
Rey
619.
Rey Fenix doing his things instead.
Yeah.
Both guys look great.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of people that, from what I had seen, that they thought Chad Gable, this is kind of embarrassing for him. This isn't a good look, but overall, I think it'll add more to him being the shitty, I'm not really El Grande Americano. Right. And then he'll get his comeuppance and embarrassed and then get even more mad 100%. And be Chad. And
yeah,
I think this is great.
I have a theory that, it's a very thin theory. I haven't given it too much thought, but it popped into my head as I was watching the match the other night. I feel like Chad Gable is very similar to the Cody Rhodes, like brought in at a specific time, kind of modeled after, not that he was modeled after Randy, but to an extent brought in with
this is who again?
Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
Right. I feel like Chad Gable is kind of similar where Chad's brought in and he's paired with American Alpha and they're kind of,
he was single white female of WWE,
but it's kind of like a Kurt Angle archetype. And then they're throwing different gimmicks at him. No matter what he's doing, it's something different. They're putting him with different people, and I feel like no matter what he does, the crowd is kind of into it, even when we know it's bad, even when they're calling him Shorty G and we're like, oh, this is bad, but we like the guy. I feel like there's a lot of similarities with Cody Rhodes, and you've got Cody Rhodes going up with the mask against Rey Mysterio. Now you've got him being a lucha. Like, I feel like they're following very similar career trajectories. So I can't wait for him to get fired and then go off and make his own company.
Well, he's got to be Shorty Dust.
Yeah.
And then it'll be complete.
There we go. But the match was fun. And, great ending, and the fans were into it.
Tim Redbeard says El Grande is setting up to have a better run than Gable ever did. Nugget says, I legit can't stand the El Grande crap.
Oh, really? Wow. Is she just talking about when she orders at Starbucks?
Don't know.
Got it.
Don't know. Let me see here. Mike Lucas says, I might be in the minority here, but I wouldn't mind going back to a 7-hour one-day Mania. If it was on a Saturday, the biggest problem was those shows were going past midnight on a Sunday here.
Yeah.
I'm all for one night as well. It's especially after attending.
I am happier that they're not as long in a night as it was, but you're still committing the exact same amount of hours. You could always just stop it and watch it the next day if you really wanted to, like split it up yourself, but I agree. Yeah.
Nugget says, I don't trust WWE to make it not cringe. Chad's wrestling is the only thing that saves it.
Yeah, I think so far it's been not cringe. I think so far it's been really fun.
I think Chad, to his credit, also has done pretty well in the backstage segments when he's saying, no,
That's not me.
That's not me. It's that guy. Here, I have a note from my doctor. Like, he sells all that just well enough. He's not amazing at it, but I think he's all right. And so far, it's worked. It certainly can go terribly wrong. We could go
of course,
horrible here, but so far, it's been okay.
I mean,
I think once we get the faction of lucha guys like coming after him and all unmasking him and doing that, like, that's going to be a pretty solid payoff.
It's going to be fun when the ring is filled with lucha. I mean, honestly,
or it will be someone else wrestling for him, and it won't be Chad, and they'll unmask him, and then he'll come out from the fucking top of the ramp, and he's like, I told you.
But I mean, we didn't talk about this. WWE acquired AAA. This could literally just lead to Chad Gable versus AAA in its entirety.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, Triple H going, yeah, we're not so mega after all. Look at that. We bought all the Mexicans, and we're going to have strawberries at all of our shows. Check it out. So we could talk about this acquisition of AAA. So CMLL is like the top promotion in Mexico, and then AAA is the one that's not doing so great. They're still around, but a flat out purchase. They've been doing partnerships with TNA, and they've been working with other promotions. They bought Evolve years ago, and for a moment treated that like it was a big deal
company thing as well, but then it wasn't,
and threw their stars in there, and then it all went away. And I feel like currently a show on Tubi, but it's not a thriving brand or anything. And I don't know if AAA will be the same thing. It's unless it's all added to the library on Peacock.
It might just be that they're still going to operate and do their own shit.
No,
but then they're just going to,
not when they buy it.
Yeah,
it's all different.
I mean, listen, it's we know their history of hiring referees, the AAA referees. Those are the best clips on the internet.
It's tough when they flat out buy something. I'm a little disappointed. I'm hoping that it can thrive in whatever way the AAA fans like it, but that's tough when it's just flat out bought by WWE.
Nugget says, but WWE is not a monopoly, guys. Hey, wait until they have to buy AEW first. And
well, they just bought Baltic Avenue.
Oh shit, interesting.
There's 3 A's in Baltic.
Get some Park Place. What's next?
What's next
going.
Is we got
We're gonna take forever.
Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair for the WWE Women's Championship.
I could not get invested. I just could not care. There was just something about this.
I don't know if they did either.
Is that what it was? Did it feel like it was all kind of apathetic to you?
No, it felt like they don't mix. They don't get along. They didn't.
Interesting.
It felt like there were a few real shots thrown in there. No one was really. Charlotte was clearly calling it.
Right.
Tiffany was a step or two behind. It felt like at times. That one's not totally sure. That's more inside baseball than I'm aware of. But they just didn't mesh.
Yeah.
And they didn't have matches to go into it to figure out how to mesh.
Yeah.
And it felt clunky.
Clunky is the best word. Felt very, very clunky. Yeah. I think this might be one of the worst for Charlotte. As far as like when you think about her Mania matches, like this is not going to be one that they go back to.
And it's not horrible, but it's just not.
It felt like it didn't matter. Yeah.
I don't know if I didn't feel that necessarily. I just felt the realism of, these two are wrestling each other, but I feel like they don't like each other, but that's still not being conveyed in the ways that I want to in a wrestling match.
Yeah. Right.
So
yeah, I'm not on board with Tiffany Stratton yet. There's just something about her that I'm just uninterested in, especially now that she's not like the annoying Tiffy time, because that was the only thing that I think she had going for her, was that she was like an obnoxious.
She's a great obnoxious girl. Sports entertainer character,
and she's a great athlete, which is great because then you can back it up.
Interchangeable with
I don't know. I just didn't care. I do think that like Charlotte looked good. Like I was a little bit worried when she came back that like, because obviously she seems like she lost a bunch of weight, but then it seems like she put some back on. She seems like she's athletic still. Because I was worried, because I always loved like it seemed really imposing to me.
You want Gunther to be Walter. You want Charlotte to.
I like my wrestlers
David Flair now.
I like my wrestlers thick with 2 C's.
Clearly, Andrew Beeler says, "Okay, I've been in and out of wrestling for like 6 months. I just did not care for. Come on, 6 months, please."
She didn't say only.
I just did not care for Tiffany Stratton watching this, and I just don't care about Charlotte at all, honestly. Is this just a bad match to watch with Tiffany in it? Or is she just kind of meh? Because I could not get into her. I'm on the fence of meh.
I'm on the fence of meh as well.
I agree with you. She's stronger as a heel overall, because sometimes when you transition to being a face, the wrestling has to go with the two, not just the crowd liking you and they like the catchphrase, but how do you actually wrestle as a good gal?
Yeah.
And Charlotte is not seemingly into this heel run. She still kind of wants to be cheered, it feels like, or she's
trying to do that thing that we talked about, where it's like the heel who doesn't care about being booed and really wants to insult the audience versus the heel who's kind of desperate to like be like, no, but I'm also really smart and good and funny, you guys. I
had life things happen, okay? Right. So don't fucking boo me for that. Boo me as the character. What?
But we talked about it, I think, at the end of that segment where that went viral because they went off script, where it felt like, we talked about that the other week, where Charlotte doesn't have to add more. Like, play it off like nothing matters to you, but she's doing that, which is a sign of weakness, and it's a sign. So that's, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and
you
also
just want her to smile more.
It looks like Tiffany had something with her tooth that happened, or she got hit in the face, or something like that at the end of the match.
It looks like she got like 3 dead teeth at the end of it.
And there was a lot of tooth puns happening. Tiffy time is 2:30 was what was said in the chat. I think I don't know if that was
2:30.
2:30. Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, Nuggets has a good point.
What?
I like Tiffy's look. Sometimes that's good enough for me.
Understandable.
Yeah, if I said that though.
I don't like her look.
Ooh.
I said that.
You want her thicker.
I don't know. I was saying the other day, there's just some wrestlers who, when I just see them, I just go like, I'm not interested in looking at you more. And Tiffy's one of them.
You should bring that sign to a show.
I feel the same way about Damian Priest.
Oh shit, we'll get into that. That's coming up. But the main event for night 1, Saturday, April 19th of WrestleMania 41, Roman Reigns versus CM Punk with Paul Heyman in his corner versus Seth Rollins.
Yeah, a little bit of a damper.
We also, just real quick, we forgot Charlotte also had the car entrance.
Oh, right, yeah.
Coming from the other way. One comes up one side of the ramp, one comes up the other side. It's a different color. It's
same driver.
Yeah, no other thing to it. It's just like, yo, one car will come one way, one come the other way.
Oh,
brilliant.
Only because we're talking about openings and we skipped it earlier. The Naomi opening where she busted through the paper, but they weren't close enough on her. So you just saw 2 guys holding poles on either sides. And it just looked like her 2 dads who were like, oh, our daughter wanted to run through paper on the front lawn. So we're holding the paper for her to run through. And I was thinking, like, push in. We shouldn't see that. There's no mystique. It was so silly to me. Sorry.
But then we had, with this one, let's see, Seth Rollins came out first with a flamethrower.
Yeah, well, The Rock lent him the flamethrower from a few years back.
Sure.
And then had a wardrobe change that took forever.
Yeah, not a fan of that.
You got to do a quick change if you're going to do anything. Come on. I've seen Britney Spears do it quicker than that. Let's get on with this shit, all right?
And he had his crown of sunglasses.
Sunglasses?
Because he had risen. He was
I missed that.
It was a whole Easter thing, I guess, that he's Messiah again. I don't know.
Oh, got it. Right.
I was kind of checked out, but yeah, okay. You have a flamethrower. Just things that don't connect, which I thought was weird. That'll be the entrance pieces. Like Seth will have the flamethrower. Right. He's burning it down. He didn't burn anything. Rock burned more shit. He burned his name.
Right. He put fire towards the screen that then somebody animated fire on.
Yeah, you can't even get Jungle Boy to come out in some fucking Jello again and get caught on fire.
You paid a GFX department. Okay, you didn't burn anything down. You employed people. You created jobs.
So like, okay, whatever. Fucking Romans was fine. It wasn't the orchestra again. Like that was acceptable.
Listen, I don't want to harp on it, but I would be remiss if I didn't bring it up. Quite a bit of a damper put on this entire thing by that fucking idiotic Vanity Fair article. I don't know why anybody did. Where Roman comes out talking about how much he supports Trump and how he voted for Trump, immediately made me go like, fuck this guy. I was immediately just like, I'm so over this shit. It's so hard.
He's a centrist.
Especially after the fucking MAGA-rific fucking Hall of Fame the night prior, which I was working until 2:30 in the morning. So I pretty much was able to watch the entire Hall of Fame the night prior. And it was just like,
John Tenta's kids are totally MAGA.
Oh my God. I couldn't believe that. It's terrible. But I don't know. It was just, I was so irritated to read that news and so let down that I was just irritated at Roman. I didn't want to look at his big, dumb fucking horse teeth. It drove me goddamn crazy. With that said, the entrance was awesome. The lowering of the screens and all the history and the stuff was great.
I did take my Roman Reigns shirt from my closet and go, you know what? I don't hate this guy, but I don't need to deal with this anymore.
Yeah.
So he was eliminated from the,
Good.
if two of these guys win this match, I'd be cool with that.
Yeah.
Well, if one of these guys wins this match, I'd be cool with that.
Fuck, man. It was so
I'm not
disappointing.
mad. I'm just disappointed.
Alexandra was the one who broke the news to me. She saw it online and she was like, Roman's been like my favorite since I started watching. Like she fucking is in love with him and he's great and everything he does is great. And now she's like, I fucking hate that guy.
Nugget says, same,
Oh,
Jake.
it's such a letdown.
Mickey Bell says, his teeth are too much.
Alexandra popped in during that match and was like, God, his teeth are distracting. That's all she said. She just walked in, stood over my shoulder, went, God, his teeth are distracting, and turned on and walked away.
I like him. That's one thing I do like. I like his teeth.
He needs to bite people more. You got
No
them
way,
big
fuck
ass
up them
chompers?
teeth? No way.
Oh,
Them pearly whites.
fuck.
And then
Yeah,
CM
Nuggets, that
Punk's
sucks.
entrance was fucking outstanding. We got throwbacks. We got new elements to it. Like
Roll it back.
In Living Color comes out.
Living Color. In Living Color
In
is a
Living
television
Color
show.
with
Just
Damon
Living Color.
Wayans and fucking Steve Park. It was multi-seasonal. It was great. Kim Wayans.
I can't believe Jim Carrey showed up for
Jim Carrey showed up. He knows
yeah,
Mania.
who thought that.
Living
Yeah.
Color shows up. I've recently watched In Living Color season 1 on
Right.
DVD, so
It's in your mind.
it's
Honestly,
crossed over in my mind.
it's a very
happens all the time.
easy mistake.
They fucking rocked. It was great that they gave them that preamble time. Like they gave
Right.
them
Right.
some playtime watching it. McAfee, I think, shut up for the
He
a good
annoyed
chunk of
the
it.
shit out of me for some of these things.
Some.
Especially for the openings where like, even like, we'll get to it, but anyways, continue.
Yeah, he made comments during things like,
Ugh.
no, enhance it.
Wait, or shut up
Another-
for the part that they spent a ton of money and they like overproduced. Like they wanted this to come off perfectly in this presentation and you're fucking talking through it, making fart sounds.
Another Vince thing where it's like, yeah, he
Right.
kept that shit
Yes.
out.
Yep.
So, Living Color was fucking great. Punk coming out, and it was the first guy that I felt, with the exception of like Fatu and LA Knight, Punk really, really, really gave you the energy of this is the main event. I'm a giant fucking deal. I'm a giant fucking star. His energy towards the band
Yeah.
and then doing the stuff, checking the time, and then Heyman coming in.
Right.
That was such a different feel. Like, didn't get that from Charlotte. Didn't get
No.
that from Tiffany. Didn't get that from a lot of people on
Not,
the card.
not in this night at all. No.
Not this mania energy where you go,
Yeah.
yes, these people who aren't executives wearing lanyards and polo shirts in the front rows.
Right.
Everybody else paid a shit ton of money to be here. Step it up. He
Put on a
stepped
fucking
it
show.
up. Huge.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, I was so excited to see Living Color. I was just like, I can't believe we're doing this again. Like, that's got to be they're the very first ever repeat musical guests in WrestleMania history.
Motorhead.
Oh, did Motorhead play him out more than once?
CM Punk? No.
Really? Oh,
Triple H.
would have thought.
I believe Motorhead showed up.
Yeah, I mean,
a couple
I
of
knew
times.
you were talking about Triple H.
Did you?
All right. Well, never mind then. But fuck, it was great. God, it was great.
Andrew Brewer says, my favorite part of all WrestleMania, this Fire Burns CM Punk video package.
Oh, right.
Oh my God. I cried. I had chills. Amazing.
That was fantastic.
I didn't see it.
It was fucking great. And there was definitely a moment in there.
Oh,
where
wait. I did see that because they're showing him YouTube clips of shit that he said and then making him say it. Right? Like
Yeah.
they
could
play
you
the old
repeat
clip
yourself? Yeah.
and then here's a fucking camera right in his face.
Yep.
It's like, say this. He's like,
yeah.
the only competition is real.
Say it the way you said it back then, though.
Oh, okay. My nose kind of goes sideways now. I did UFC for a bit.
Yeah.
Yes, that was cool.
Yeah. It was fucking great. Absolutely loved it.
And this match, outstanding. Outstanding match.
This is
A triple threat.
one
done
of
really
the
well.
best versions of business, right? In a match that enhances every moment of it instead of pulling away from it. There'll be some business again tomorrow that will not enhance things. This is an example of
On
like
Tuesday?
shit slowed. Yeah.
Oh, man.
This is just my personal life. I mean, it was just fucking great. The match itself, the entire time, is fantastic. The story between Seth and Roman is outstanding. Seth just constantly hating every core of what makes CM Punk who he is great. And Punk's just smiling about shit.
Yeah.
it was fucking great.
Everyone played the part really well.
Yeah.
When Seth is grounded, when he's not the fucking, outfits and all that
Right.
guy, like
Yeah.
I
When he's angry.
I enjoy watching it.
I mean, yeah, he's like, they both are so good, Punk and Seth. They're both so good at like telling a story without pulling the wrestling out of the match.
Mm-hmm.
Roman sometimes pulls the wrestling out of the match
Well,
and tells
because he'll
stories.
talk for a while. He's
Sure.
like,
Well,
let me show off
so
my pearly whites.
so did Seth quite a while, but in this instance,
But
it
no,
worked.
that was a Roman.
And it worked to go.
That was Roman's thing for
Right.
Thunderdome.
Oh no, I remember. Yeah,
I'm gonna half talk through
Yeah.
this match.
like he's writing dialogue.
But Seth started it, and I was like, yeah, all right, we'll get there.
But
They did a really good job. I felt they suckered me when it was going to be the old school Shield power bomb
yep.
of Punk to the table, but then Roman is going to do it. Then
So
fuck
good.
you, punches Seth,
And gives him
gives Punk one, and then gives Seth the one where, hey, we've traveled on the road for a long time. I'm gonna go a little bit lighter on Punk. It's gonna look gnarlier because it's gonna be the table hit and then it falls. But Seth was all the way through because you hit your friends harder.
When Punk landed, I went, oh shit, oh fuck, that sucked, poor Punk. And then before I can get the K out and Seth hit, I went, oh shit, I'm sorry, way worse on Seth Rollins. That shit was brutal.
Yes,
But it was great. Great part of the story. I love the misdirect. I mean, everything about this was handled so well, and the audience was in on every single beat of it, and nothing looked wonky. There's a couple
one
moments.
thing, and we'll get there.
Oh, because I will say that there are some moments that I wish Roman would struggle more. Like, and I think it's inherently the problem
You
with
want him to have leukemia again?
Yeah, God damn it.
Is that what you're saying?
Well, fucking Trump pulled funding, so if he gets it, fucking good luck. But it's best noted when the two, at least the first attempt and then the actual GTSs occur, where Punk picks up Rollins when Rollins is still around, right?
Mhm.
And Rollins is fucking kicking and scurrying to get out of it, and then Roman interrupts. CM Punk lifts Roman, and Roman just like he gives like the weakest little legs, and then he just like waits for him to give it
My
to him.
counter would be Seth could probably always counter his weight, so he could do that,
Yes.
and then Punk would never have an issue.
Roman's a bigger
like,
dude.
if I did this, you're gonna fall over. I've seen how many times you get injured. Shut up! I could do it. Okay, this fire burns.
I get that. And in that very specific example I gave, maybe you are correct, but that also applies to a lot of other things. Well,
Yes.
Roman does that thing where it looks like he's out in a video game sometimes, where he'll just stop because it's your time to do the move. It's his time to get a move done to him.
Right.
That's literally the only negative I have against the guy and his opinions on the world. But
But I love them teeth.
the two of them, the other two, are so good at all of that it's like fucking. It was just gangbusters.
For this to go from Rumble to now, I never got tired of it. I couldn't believe that I ended up getting more excited for it in the end. The stakes of Paul Heyman being in Punk's corner,
Right.
and playing out at the end of the two of them, and it felt earned. The amount of time of Roman and Punk looking at Heyman, going like,
yep.
"Give us that chair,
Yeah.
give me that chair, give me that chair," and then handing it to Punk. Heyman being distraught by it. He's burnt like 6 calories during this match at this point. Like he's sat down on the steps and he's walked over to the chair and he grabbed it, threw it in the ring. Like, holy shit, Heyman's fucking working.
He's not done yet. He's getting in the ring for some reason.
Oh my God. And the first one is pretty devastating to the crowd. That feel of he nut punches Punk.
Right.
And then when we're getting set up for Roman, the crowd knows and feels it, like it's coming, but it's okay.
Not for me. It wasn't. I didn't feel it.
You didn't see it coming?
They got me.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. I think I was just caught up in the, like, they love reliving Shield shit. And I guess I thought,
Oh, okay.
I was like, yeah, this makes sense. After everything happened with the Mania last year, where he, all the things, I thought, okay, yeah, well, why not?
It was, even though at this point it felt like, yeah, you see it coming. Heyman's doing the little looks and, getting it, balling up his fist. It's like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
This is cool. I'm all for it. He did a thing. I've seen somebody do it once before too. Yeah, the chair, that's fine.
But then he did the wiggle.
He did the wiggle.
little
Where it's like, no, that doesn't do nothing.
Well, no, to the first one, you're just putting the spoon in, and then you got to stir that soup a little bit.
No,
That made me laugh. The little stir made me laugh.
It was super weird.
He shook it up. Just a little shake it up.
So then Heyman stands, and this is the one part that was just is unfortunate because I thought the pacing, everything about this match was so solid.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins took so fucking long to get to the end that Heyman went from standing in the ring to sitting.
To just taking a fucking
He's sitting on
break.
the ground in the corner
Yeah.
because Seth
Right.
didn't do anything.
Right.
He just fucking kept standing there, and it's so long.
Yeah.
It's so long. And then it was just the end.
Right.
It's like, you could have done that in such a shorter amount of time.
I guess you're right. I didn't get distracted by that moment, maybe because I was caught up in, like, I did not think in a million years that he was going to end up with Seth Rollins. We were joking about it because we wanted to see
Heyman dress up in all the same clothes.
But all those jokes aside from last week, never thought that this was how this outcome would be. So I think they got me. I hook, line, and sinker. I was marked, and I was just like, wait, is he literally siding with? And then he's taking the chair, and I'm thinking like, oh, like is this gonna be him going after? Now he has to decide whether he hates Punk more or he's angry at Roman. Like it was just, they had me. I didn't mind however long this took. Also, the audience didn't let up. If the audience would have dipped, then I think I would have noticed it more, but they were at a fucking 11 the entire time.
I felt like they did when Seth just didn't end the match. I thought there was a dip.
Right.
But they'll fix it in editing.
Right.
That'll be fine. But Jesus Christ. If this changes Seth to something else, no more woe.
Heyman guy.
No more stupid clothes.
No more woe. You mean that's
the
Cody
song?
Rhodes.
No, he's got
that
he's
one.
got the woe too.
Right.
All that shit. If all that shit goes away and Seth reinvents himself with Heyman,
right,
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Like that's the positive outcome of this. Then you have everything with Roman and Punk still. Like there's a lot of story to be told, and it's must see television for later.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Man, we didn't talk about that. I think we've seen it once or twice before, maybe more than once or twice. That spear reversed into the pedigree was so good this time.
Yep.
Oh my God, that was so good. Yeah, there were so many of those great moments. The double DDT thing that Punk has done in the past, but I think, again, like there was something about the pacing of this that every move felt so much bigger and so much more meaningful. It was fucking great.
Great. Everybody did great. It's
Punk's reaction at the end was just fucking
solid. What a great WrestleMania match.
That was WrestleMania, you guys.
Let me see comments. Andrea says the match was so good, the ending felt meh.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
I felt like I've already seen this ending before. Yeah, well, I mean, it's certainly Shield reminiscent of all that stuff we saw at Mania last year. It was Roman clocking Seth while Seth is cosplaying as himself. And Nugget says, I still hate Punk.
Oh, just love him.
And that was night one. We also had the Hall of Fame. People came out and...
Did you hear about Lex?
What?
Lex.
Oh, yeah, he wasn't there.
Yeah, he got offered a thing at like the WrestleCon event that was more money, so he went and did that instead.
That's fucking rad.
Fucking Lex never changed. Lex Luthor never changed.
Luthor?
I'm sorry, Lex Luger. I've done that since I was a child.
Did you see what Brett did? Have you seen that clip?
No.
Of Brett and Triple H when Triple H, Jesus Christ, Triple H, he is overstepped his fucking bounds of like how much he is talking and doing. So I didn't get to see a whole lot of other outside Mania stuff. I saw a snippet of Austin and Brett talking for their Hall of Fame moment.
That was fun.
Speech. Brett says, I have 2 minutes, so I'll wrap this up and give it to Steve.
Right. And then they go on for 6 minutes. No,
well, Triple H talked for an hour.
Right. Yeah. Oh.
Brett gets to speak for 2 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, he went on for longer than an hour, I think.
I'm going to show you this clip, whether or not I posted it on the Discord.
Do you want me just to pull it up for the people? Or?
If you find, there's a lot of shit buried amongst the Discord.
Oh,
so
yeah. Never mind.
That's what I was going to just show you.
Sure.
And if you maybe find a way to pull it up afterwards, cool. But let me see here. It's Brett's reaction when they are. Oh, don't tell me it got yanked.
Oh, they yanked it.
No yanking.
Did they yank it?
They might have yanked it. I'm going to see if I can still find it, though. This is Brett's reaction when Triple H walks by him on the whole stage of it for Mania, when it's like, we'd like to present all the Hall of Famers.
Right.
And they're all standing there. Triple H walks over to Bret Hart, and yeah, here we go.
Okay. Oh boy.
Triple H goes to shake Bret's hand,
Yeah.
and Bret's hands are clasped in front of him.
Right.
And then he doesn't shake Bret's hand. Triple H quickly moves away, and the camera catches Bret.
That's funny.
Making this face, going for all that. You got to join our live chat. He does like a like a bullshit, and eyes and eyebrows go up like okay, buddy.
Yeah.
So yeah, here's
Yeah.
that
I can
plays
be
it
able to
all.
see it. Yeah, kind of a little bit. They get it.
Fucking great. I love
fucking
Bret.
love him. The trophy, by the way, the little whatever you call it, was pretty cool. I enjoyed that for the moment, the Hall of Fame moment thing that they did for their match. It reminded me of the poster for Face Off, but in sculpture form with Bret. And there's definitely a few of those that I can now imagine for the future, which will look pretty cool if they're all in that style, which would be nice.
Okay.
So anyways,
good on Luger. Get paid.
Yeah. Let's give night two.
Night two. Opening up, we have Triple H came out multiple times in night one. Jesus fucking Christ. And then Stephanie came out for night two, talking to everybody, going, hey, it's WrestleMania. We had Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley for the WWE Women's World title.
So this was one of the matches that we were talking about where I was just like, yeah, I just don't know that I care a ton. I fucking loved this match. This might be hyperbole. It is hyperbole, but also it's how I feel. This might be one of the best women's triple threat matches that the company's done.
And I know your memory's sharp.
Well, I always talk about how most of the women on the roster for years are exceptionally careful. And that's really noticeable in multi-women matches where it's not a one-on-one and not necessarily a tag team, but when it's triple threat or more, it's a lot of getting your spot in. And in order to do that, you got to wait. You got to get in line. You got to hesitate. There's no hesitation. The timing of this match is absolutely fucking impeccable. All three of these women are incredible. I know that you're not entirely sold on Io.
No.
But the things that she does that bother me in this match, they made kayfabe cost her things. The commentary even said, like, you're fucking, celebrating too much. You're constantly interrupting yourself. Be more intense.
She double air dicks so much.
But it cost her. And those things like that I really
It also cost
enjoyed.
William H. Macy and Ricky Stanicki.
I didn't see that
And
yet.
John Cena taught him a lesson. When is Io Sky going to learn there's too much air dicking? Stop it.
Fuck, it was so good. I love this match. I couldn't believe how good the timing was. It was surprising. They kept doing things that were really quick and like shocking, and it moved at such a rapid pace. A part of me wonders if they didn't cut some of the time for this match, and they were like, we're going to still do the entire thing, which made it better because everything was
They
just
don't cut time
rapid
anymore.
fire. Yeah, I don't know. But
There's no time
fuck,
cutting.
this
in
was
WWE.
good. Absolutely love this match.
It was very solid.
And I love that the fans were in it for the entirety. It was great. Absolutely great.
Very solid. I hate who won, but
Really interesting.
ultimately, I guess I get to save time and fast forward her segments in the future and look for Rhea and Bianca
Interesting.
because I thought they were great. And Io was certainly better. I know people like it, and I'm not going to pick on it. So
This was
night two was a harder watch for me. It was circumstantially, just
interesting.
with life stuff that we're going to get into.
Right.
But it was a very, very, very solid match. Another great classic for WrestleMania.
I think this was the sleeper of the entire weekend. This was the one that I was the least interested in and then delivered the most.
Well, many people were interested in this match.
I know.
It wasn't like a.
That's why I said for myself.
Yeah. Just letting you know.
There was a
Where you're
qualifier there.
No. Hey, everybody. You guys are sleeping on this one. There's some amazing shit. I don't recall the lady's name. I think a TikTok influencer or something like that is doing stuff in ring with Rhea Ripley.
I saw that.
Natalie,
I saw a clip of it.
They're
And
fucking
she's dressed
great.
like her.
It's
And
so funny.
And the entire time she's like, could you put, yes, I want to be choked in a corner. It's
and
like
then
really
she does
sexually
these
charged.
things, and when Rhea laughs as a human being,
Right.
oh, it is infectious and
Yes.
attractive.
No,
she's a great laugher. Those
Right.
clips are fantastic. Seek those out.
She had a great entrance. I really dug her getup, her Mania getup. It felt nice. It felt big. I always want a little bit more spectacle, but I get like, it's a triple threat and she's not the champ. So I was like, no, you can't give one of the three people like a big giant thing and
Sure you can.
not the other two. But yeah.
I don't know what this means. Nugget says, Scott, I'm surprised you don't like Io. She from Japan.
You love everything from Japan.
All
things from Japan you love.
Is she from Japan, or is this like a Santino Marella thing?
Oh wait, or Chief Jay Strongbow.
Yeah, anything that fools Jake. Like, no, they're really from. He's from Italy, you guys.
Alice Raider, that's so fucking rude. You're so cruel.
Alice Raider says it's a women's match. Of course, Jake wasn't excited to watch. Sick burn.
I will not stand by and be considered a misogynist. Anyway, on to more men doing stuff.
Yeah, shirtless men. Yeah, ladies, get shirtless. Be equal. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre in a Sin City street fight. Man, oh man. Did this exceed my expectations?
All right, so I think we're reversed. We're inverse for these two matches. I liked the last one better. You like this one better.
Drew was already fucking excellent, and it's like at this point, it's hard for him to do any wrong. Like he is outstanding. He had many a great detail in this one, as did Jacob Fatu and LA Knight, of like psychology and things and selling. And I thought Damian Priest stepped it up. This was, okay. I don't think he's at the level yet that he's supposed to be.
Right.
But these two brought the best out of each other, and this was Damian Priest got better.
Okay. Like I'll have to give it a rewatch maybe. I found myself kind of bored during parts of it.
Oh, I dug it.
And I think I enjoyed Drew enjoying himself more than the work that's happening now, like doing the selfies and shit like that. I'm like, all right, like these are fun moments and things that are happening, but ultimately I wasn't invested, and I don't think the street fight helped. Also,
I think it.
I know I meant like it helped me to be more invested than
I think it was a necessary element for these two.
Also, they were both dressed like they were in a fantasy thing.
One's in a video game, one's in a.
But it was a street fight, and come on, that's how you dress for a street fight.
Sure, it is.
Maybe in Mad Max.
What, you want everyone to dress like Shawn Michaels
Fury road fight
with a wife beater and
jeans? That's how you know.
No.
If you have to wear jeans for street fight, else it's not a street fight.
No.
Everybody knows that. Those are the rules. I don't make the rules. I'm just saying.
Stupid. Yeah, and they also have to have a lazy eye. Next up, Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. This also
delivered.
Far exceeded expectations.
Same.
I had a lot of ideas of thinking, Breaker's gonna double spear the Judgment Day guys. Oh, Carlito's out there. There'll be a triple spear.
Right.
Oh no, just Carlito. You have to take a bump at Mania. Sorry.
Yep. Thanks for coming.
That was great.
But it's fine. He'll never see a doctor. He eats an apple every day.
Sure.
The crowd getting as far behind Dominic as they did, that was what made this really, really special to me. I was not expecting that. And it was so much fun. Again, timing was excellent. The involvement of, Braun's intensity with a bunch of these high flyers, Finn being just like this angry, miserable person, and the
but he wasn't the normal angry, dumb version of himself. This was a much better version of what Finn could be.
He felt legitimately upset at a Dominic.
Yeah, like they had an actual pact that you fucking broke this.
Yeah.
I think Finn's really terrible.
Yeah, you're not a fan.
As far as his genuine reactions.
Sure, sure.
You're worse than a cartoon, buddy.
Right.
This was really solid.
Yeah.
Dominic was great. Had no thought that Dominic would walk away with
me neither. I thought he was there to just take a pin to protect everybody else.
Right.
I was like, they don't want any one of these people to get pinned at Mania, so let's just put Dominic in there.
Great finish. When you do these where I still don't ultimately like them, I want there to be eliminations and then one guy standing on top. But at the one time where you go, it's a shitty win. But we've seen a couple of these now. That's ultimately how Io won.
Right.
It's like, did she beat everybody? No, she got a sneaky win.
Sure.
And then, hey, Dominic got a sneaky win.
Right.
And I think it gets a little overplayed, but
this,
when you do it so well, it's hard to deny.
This didn't feel as much like a sneaky win. I think it was the impact of the splash, and then the fact that he really quickly dragged Drew. Finn. I don't know. This
but it is a sneaky win because
definitive.
The champion Braun was not.
Yes. Okay.
Was not involved in it. Penta was not involved in
that moment with Braun and Penta just foreheading each other. I was like, oh, these two. Give me just these two and a run in the future.
It's amazing how what Penta would do Indies, TNA, AEW, where there's not the structure in place, right, of the producers, and it's go fill the time. and we see the Zero Miedo
Right.
and the glove taking
Right.
forever and
Yeah.
all that. He doesn't do that shit at all.
No.
They'd go, no.
No.
You have to keep
Right.
wrestling. You can do one of those, but no, you can't do that for 5 minutes.
Whoa. Nuggets won $50 betting on Dirty Dom.
Whoa. Betting on wrestling, you guys. It pays off.
Man, this was shockingly good. I was astounded. And so this was the last match I watched live before Easter dinner. We have a standing Easter dinner with our friends. Yep, Chuck E. Cheese. Where else? And
the rat has risen.
We were like 10 minutes late because I was so invested. I was like, I don't want to come back to this match. I want to see how this resolves.
I don't have the app on my phone. No, let's just finish it.
Well, I have to drive, and I don't want to, listen, only an idiot drives while they're watching wrestling, right? And so I had to watch the finish. I was astounded. I will say a little bit of the annoying production shit that we talk about, where just like New Day, he got the victory, ran up the ramp, and then they showed the video package of the replay, and then someone clearly went, "You got to get back in the ring and get on the." So he ran back to the ring.
But I also like maybe that he was a bit of the character.
He was milking it.
Is a shithead.
Okay,
and it's like, yeah, you know what? I did fucking win.
That's fair.
It worked for me.
Fair. And I loved everybody's reactions. Like the other competitors, like you said, Finn sold well. There was a lot of really good spots in this, and fuck, it was good. I did not expect it to be that good.
Yeah. Yeah. Start to finish, that one was a solid one. And then it's Randy Orton. It's his 20th WrestleMania.
Wow. Yeah. 20 WrestleManias.
20 WrestleManias. He was ready to punt a man in the head. He hears the voices again.
Yep.
He comes out. He's the only guy that gets mic time.
Oh yeah, in all of Mania.
So he says it's an open challenge, and whoever wants a WrestleMania moment, come and get it.
And they kept it a surprise. They didn't announce anything on SmackDown. They didn't do any of that stuff. Yeah.
And the internet was thrilled.
Yeah.
Because Joe Hendry came out, TNA
World Champion with his title.
Mm-hmm.
When the music hit and everybody went nuts, I went, I don't know. But I think it delivered because it wasn't like a big, long, drawn out, like it's his Mania debut kind of thing. It felt to me like we did something fun for the fans. The ending is great. I think this to me was like, it might not have been like the dream match that you want as far as like a person who's going to come in, they're going to have this, incredible
match.
Yeah. But I kind of felt like in this 2 nights of all of these matches that were the biggest deal, this felt to me like appropriate. This is what I want. It's his 20th. It's a feel good for Randy. He gets to have a little fun. He gets to do, it's not the KO match of the night that we probably would have gotten. But I don't know. I enjoyed it. I wasn't mad. When it was all said and done, I was like, I like that. It was him.
I couldn't believe that this was what they went with.
There were a lot of options.
Yeah. Especially people who work there. That feels weird ultimately when there was always the idea when the Undertaker was around that anybody on the roster could come out and go, huh, and just point at the sign when Undertaker's in the ring.
Right.
Like Zack Ryder could do
it. I got it. I pointed first.
Dibs. And this is the entire roster that goes, nah, fuck that. I'm not going to fight Randy Orton. Like,
I'm all
really?
right. I'm good.
Nobody? And then, because also every wrestler's in town.
Right.
Every wrestler that exists on the planet, they're all in town for WrestleMania. There are people that say this buried Joe Hendry. I don't look at it that way at all.
Not at all.
It buries TNA.
That's what it does.
It buries the world champion who came out as a goof twice, once at Mania and is quickly eliminated, and then
or Rumble, you mean?
Sorry, yes, at Rumble, and then doesn't stand toe to toe with Orton at all.
No,
and it's fine if it's a guy that he's gonna step up there at some point. But he didn't. He got one slam in, I think.
And they gave him the very first moment. They gave him the initial RKO reversal thing where Orton goes like, oh, all right, I'm underestimating you. And then they're like, but I'm still going to fucking beat the shit.
I'm still going to get you.
And it was just the greatest hits. It was all the RKO greatest hits.
So in no way, I think, does that do TNA any favors to go like, look, that's our champion.
100%.
If that's your fucking champion.
100%.
Good Lord.
And
who are the other guys?
If I cared about TNA more, I might be more upset by that.
Sure.
But I don't give 2 shits. So therefore,
Jeff Jarrett is spinning in his grave.
I liked it. I like that TNA champ was at Mania. And if anything, it's like, people being like, "Oh, that's incredible that they're." It's like, yeah, of course WWE's like, yeah, you want to bring your champ out and let one of our top guys for the past 25 years squash him? Sure, why not?
I can't believe Orton had to tan and shave for that. I feel it's a bummer when you hype up so much 20 years of WrestleMania and then he has a 3-minute squash match.
Yeah, I get that, but again, here's the reality: is because of all the other shit on the card over the 2 nights, that I don't mind, because then we get into the problem of every single thing is the biggest deal, and then when that happens, it's fatigue, and it's just so I didn't mind it.
I also think he's one of the best wrestlers going and would have had one of the most amazing matches. So
And
also
we
when
don't know
it's
how many
leading
he's got
into
more, yeah.
next month, he's in St. Louis for Backlash. He's probably fighting Cena.
Right.
And it just felt like, oh,
Right.
That's how I felt. I'm thrilled that everybody else is happy and dug it. That's
logic
great.
behind your feelings is sound, despite the fact that I go, yeah, I went the other way with it. But
yeah,
I will say the biggest upset thing for me was the cameraman not waiting, because clearly at the end of the entire match,
Orton
was going to do the Hendry pose,
but he turns.
But he was just turning and looking at Joe Hendry, and the camera guy, wait, is this it? Is he doing it? And then he did the crash zoom, and like, oh wait, cut away, it's not doing it yet. And it's like, all right, well now we know what you're doing. You've totally spoiled that.
Fix it in editing.
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know. I saw that one in the replay, and it was still in the replay.
No, but I mean for a video package.
Sure, that's fair.
So yeah, sorry everybody else on the roster.
Yeah,
you don't get to fight Orton.
I
sorry,
mean,
Otis.
And again, the question is like, if it was going to be that anyway, aren't you glad that it was the TNA World Champ? Makes your whole company look better, right? Versus Otis going out there and getting squashed.
No, because then
also Orton picks him up and gives him the point, and then hits him with a little fun RKO at the end, and just goes, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
it was fun.
This was WrestleMania.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, you did. Then, well, I already felt the drop off at this point, and then the rest of the night, AJ Styles versus Logan Paul.
Skipped it.
I was just checked out.
Yeah, I skipped it. I didn't watch it.
And it seemed okay, but it didn't seem like anything overtly special. But admittedly, I was pretty checked out. Curious to hear what the chat thought about it. If it did more than what they thought it would, or anything like that. It's, Logan Paul has certainly exceeded expectations as a performer, but there's nothing about him now where I go, okay, I see it. You've jumped and you've done moves, and you're a shithead, and your song is annoying because I watched Popstar, Never Stopping, and it's a direct ripoff of one of the other songs, but it's just not funny.
I don't even think I could tell you what his theme song sounds like.
It's about being humble.
Oh, got it.
And they, fucking Andy Samberg has a way better song about it, and it's funny.
Yeah.
But it's now just it's to me it's flat. We've seen it. You don't have affection, guys. That fucking Jeff guy, he had another one of his cronies.
Who's the Jeff guy?
I don't know. He's one of his cronies, comes out.
Oh, one of like
zero fucking personality. It's not like an iShowSpeed or any of those guys that it's clearly animated and can kind of
and he's maybe there to be fodder. Yeah.
This Jeff guy was a fucking dud. Just awful that I already saw the previous segment and I go like, no one on the roster could get out and do something? Okay. Now this guy gets the fucking favor to come out. Karrion Kross shows up and does a little something, and that was somewhat interesting.
Oh, he showed up during the match?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Begging AJ to, basically like, turn to the dark side, hit him with the brass knucks. This fucking Jeff guy was on Mania. Couldn't believe it. Jesus Christ. None of that.
Nuggets in chat says Logan AJ was garbage. They had one job, do something cool, and they couldn't even do that.
You know what? That's fair.
Yeah. Just no interest in watching Logan do anything anymore. If, yeah, I don't know.
Well, okay. Let me address this Nuggets one. We all know Scott hates fun. But what am I supposed to? I've seen Joe Hendry turn around and do this, and I've seen the song. What else is there that he does? Like, ultimately, I don't see how this makes me a fan of Joe Hendry.
Alice Rader says, don't care. Happy he was in my screen. I like Happy Randy.
Cool. He'll be way happier in St. Louis when he's getting a fucking bigger payday.
Match, yeah. But anyways, yeah, I skipped this one since this is when I was in my replay phase. I was really worried because sometimes the replays take forever, but literally this, like, the second we got home from our Easter dinner, I was like, click, and then it just popped up like within 5 minutes. Like, oh, perfect. And I was able to fast forward where I was and just pick up where I left off.
Then we had for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles, we had Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Not Bayley and Lyra Valkyria.
So I had no idea that Bayley was not going to be at Mania ever since our last episode.
That was also a last minute.
Okay.
She got injured on SmackDown.
Also, Alexandra spoiled Becky coming for me, because when we got home and I started picking up, I think the first match I watched was the Orton one, right? I think that was the one after the IC title. And she pops up and she says, like, it's like, how's Mania? And I was like, oh, it's good. And I was like, oh, that happened that night. This match was really good. And she was like, oh, did the Becky match happen yet? And I was like, oh no, Becky hasn't been around for like a year. And I could tell that she just probably saw something online, didn't realize it was a return, just thought Becky had a match at Mania because she's not
Becky
aware.
Paul, Logan Paul's wife.
Right, sure. And Becky Belair, that's what she calls her.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, no, she's. And then Alexander just very awkwardly goes, oh, I must be thinking of somebody else. And I'm like, what does that mean? I must be like, how does you know who Becky is? You must have seen some what? And then I kind of didn't clock it. And then she leaves, and then like as this match is prepping, they're like, "Oh, Bailey's not." And then I'm like, "Oh, goddamn, Alexandra!" She clearly saw something on social media earlier in the evening and ruined it.
But so replacement partner was Becky Lynch.
Only
for Bailey,
people for
because
Beast.
Bailey didn't show up at all. We didn't see Rey Mysterio on Mania either to like back anybody up. So
right.
Yeah, I watched it out of curiosity, but I wasn't into it.
So I wasn't into it either. But when Lyra Valkyria,
winged armed woman,
when she came through the thing, all I could think of was that fantastic episode of Always Sunny, because she looked like
the
War Eagles. Wait, what were their names again?
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, the Eagle something. Where the guys are dressed up with eagle feathers because they think they look badass
on their arms
as wrestlers.
Yeah, and it's on their arms. I think we just look like giant pigeons.
So why wasn't Becky Lynch the trash man?
Oh my, I know.
She's the man. She could have been the trash man. I hate trash.
I will say, like, I really do. I like Liv, and it's not just the cut of their fucking. I'm surprised they were allowed to show that on TV. The cut of her bottom half of her ring gear at this point is
after
now
Austin plowed into a barricade.
We didn't even talk about that.
All bets are off.
That poor woman.
Oh yeah,
she's fine. But also, I was like, oh shit, they're doing some damage control.
1, 2, I'll fall down.
Right.
Whoa.
But Liv was great in this, and
she did the best she could to make some out of like, oh shit, I'm scared. Becky's back. I talk shit.
Exactly.
Months ago.
Right.
This felt like an Excalibur moment on commentary.
We have to explain.
Hey, everybody.
Right.
This all happened a while ago. Oh, did? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not really feeling Lyra yet. There's something that's still disconnected for me.
She does fine wrestling.
Yeah.
She screams not quite like Maxine Dupree, like a victim, but she has weird yells when she gets moves done to her.
Right.
But there's just nothing to attach yourself to, I think, character-wise.
Right.
For me, that's
same. But Becky, I was fun watching her. I think she looked great. I love Liv. Liv is just so good. She's so emotive. She's so fun. I think she's a really good wrestler. I think she's when she first started, I used to talk about how she had like the Jeff Hardy syndrome, where it was just like she has like reckless abandon for her own well-being. I feel like she has figured out a way to harness that, where she still ragdolls in ways, but not in a way that makes me feel like she's not gonna have a career for much longer. It's all come together for Liv. So I enjoyed watching that, but I didn't care. I know, and when they won the titles, and I was like, okay, like I didn't have any investment in it.
It's one of your most hated things, the makeshift tag team.
And also,
they're not a functional tag team, but they won in their first match.
And they didn't even tell a story of like, oh, like they actually have a history in Ireland, or like they didn't even try to sell that they have a. And also, Valkyria now is a dual champion. This woman who just came out of nowhere, and you have all these other talents. And again, not to bury her because I don't think she's bad, but yeah.
Mike Lucas says Lyra has little sister energy.
100%.
And I totally agree with Nuggets in this. Glad to see Becky. I missed her, but I really like Liv. I think it would have been more interesting if she pinned Becky.
I kind of agree.
100%. Like,
yeah,
Becky coming back and then Liv
even if
can
it's
be
dirty.
Scared the whole match,
right?
And then pin her and then talk shit.
Or Raquel is the one who actually does the damage.
Yeah.
And then Liv goes, no. And then pins her herself and then claims, I beat, Becky. And then Raquel, there could be a thing about like, we can plant some seeds for a future story about Raquel being like, I beat Becky.
I don't get to see Dominic and Liv as two champions.
I know.
What the shit is that?
She didn't come out for his celebration.
Is
And
Becky even going to show up on Monday? I fucking doubt it. Then we get to our main event, which I'm sure we'll have very little to talk about. Cody Rhodes.
It seems like they sure did.
Versus, no, John Cena talked through the whole thing. Cody Rhodes versus
Right.
John Cena
Again
for the undisputed WWE Championship. Talk about the entrances where someone is seen on camera. That fucking chick, that producer, running out, cleaning up like, hold on, there's feathers. Let me get these feathers. That must have been the most Vince McMahon Triple H there has ever been on a headset.
Right.
Screaming
Get out
his
of there.
fucking
What
headset.
are you doing?
God damn it, what the fuck? Get her fucking out of there. What the goddamn, you ruined fucking John Cena. I would love to have seen that footage if that exists, if that gets out.
Do you know? Do you? When we talked about this off air a couple of weeks, last week actually. The great television director and Alexandra's second cousin, Don Mischer, recently passed away. But he's a legendary TV director. Every major event you've ever seen on television, he's a part of in some way. Did you ever see the footage of him from the DNC? No.
No, because I wasn't familiar with him. I wouldn't know what he looks like.
Well, no. It's not footage. I'm sorry. It's just audio.
Yeah.
There's this famous clip of him when he was directing a DNC when John Kerry got the nomination. And at the end of it, like balloons are supposed to fall, and they tapped in, like CBS, whoever's broadcasting, tapped into his headset. And on air, as they've announced John Kerry is going to win, Donna just on the headset going, "Where the fuck are the balloons? What are you guys fucking doing up there? Balloons now, balloons go, more balloons, more balloons." And this is what I was thinking of. I was thinking of him going like, "What the fuck are you doing back there? Less balloons, less balloons." Yeah, especially when the stage is just black.
I think it's a very nice way of putting what he would have said.
Sure. But the stage is solid black too. It's not like you're hiding behind all of the graphics. Ugh.
It's not even the woman that Austin didn't hit with his ATV running around.
Oh boy,
that Nick Khan is going
right.
Well, what do I got to give you to shut you up? She was a fucking executive with a lanyard. Good Lord. Ugh.
Yeah, but he comes out. He's got a no frills entrance, all music, but just black and white letters.
Great presentation of it. He had his game face on.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
Instead of doing the towel in front of him and then running, he just kept it behind him and then walked, and the camera was behind him instead of in front of him.
He's been doing that. Yep.
Okay, so yeah, I mean,
you have to watch wrestling to know
it worked. No, who's the time?
And then Cody came out with his robotic mask that he still doesn't like to wear these things for more than 30 seconds. You know how
long that walk to the ring is? They don't want to have somebody.
They don't walk any of it.
Well, they don't want to have somebody. Yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make. They don't want to have somebody have to walk all the way down just to get it and bring it back. Just leave it up here.
-1 could do it. He's not busy.
What if -1 was Randy Orton's secret opponent?
That would have been better.
Yeah. So in any case,
there's history there.
Orton has.
He had a feud with his father.
Night 1, all about cars. Night 2, all about off-road vehicles.
Yeah.
We had ATVs and we had dirt bikes for some reason. How do you have a ramp?
For moments.
How do you have a ramp on both sides of a stage that meets at a flat top in the middle?
Yeah.
Have motocross people and not one goddamn trick? How do you not have these people jumping and then doing, like, it doesn't have to be huge. They can tabletop a little bit. Like, that was pointless.
How do you have the guy who runs Power Slap there and no one just slaps each other for their entrance? There's just two people that just slap the shit out of each other and then they go down. And then you go, Power Slap, brought to you by Dana White.
I don't entirely get what you're referencing. I mean, I get what you're referencing.
Anything interesting for an entrance.
Oh, okay, got it. This also had the AEW problem that I always talked about when they first started and Cody was there, which was like, you can't have like a intro song and then just stop it and then just start the song that it usually is. Like
WWE does
blend
that
it
a lot.
I know, but I'm talking about specifically because of Cody, because Cody has the stop and start to begin with. Like, find a way to blend this shit together. Make it cohesive. What are we doing? Yeah, I didn't understand that, but I did. Unlike you, I enjoyed the helmet. I liked the little Iron Man helmet when it popped up. I went, oh, cool, it popped up. He's gonna walk. He's gonna wear it for the entire match.
Why wouldn't you call it a Skeletor helmet?
He took it off. Well, he's a Skeletor Iron Man helmet. It's if Iron Man designed Skeletor's helmet.
Yeah, it'd be cool if he wore it.
Yes,
but
I agree.
He doesn't.
I completely agree. He takes them off way too soon.
So great, feel.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
The velvet tights, by the way, very nice.
What, on the ring announcer? Creep.
And it wouldn't be creepy if it was. Oh, never mind.
They start off with the basics right from the get-go, which I thought was solid. Cena does that a lot.
I'm sorry.
Like when he's
I don't want to derail you, but I just have to read this from Alice Rader before we move on too far from the subject.
Okay.
Alice Rader says, could you imagine if Stone Cold hit the barricade in front of the Saudi prince?
Saudi Prince would have loved it. He would have loved it. Drank a beer
He'd
with
be like,
him.
oh no, everything is great. Have him killed. So anyways, I apologize. Match starts.
With the basics. John Cena does a lot with the guys he is not familiar with in the ring. Like they do headlock takeovers,
Yep.
they do leg scissor stuff. Like it was great. All that was good. Cena ducking out a lot and Cody getting frustrated.
He's doing like the KO heel wrestling that we've seen a lot where it's just like, yeah, old school Memphis style heel. Like, don't let him get your hands on him. Walk around, slow it down. And they try to sell on commentary. I don't know whether it was successful or not. They're trying to sell like, hey, he told him that he can't wrestle, and Cena's going to show him that he can. He's got something to prove here. I'm like, all right, I don't know if that's necessarily the story, but I'm glad you're trying to add something to it.
Cena's Hollywood hair people were on point this day. Holy shit. Not a bald spot in
Brought to
sight.
you by Hims. Look how much better mine looks. This is not a commercial, but look how much better. Remember how bad it was? It's getting a lot better. No? I'm not showing
Oh
them.
my God.
I'm showing you. It looks just as bad to you?
It looks worse.
Oh, no. Really?
Yeah.
I haven't looked at
It
the
looks like
thing.
John Cena a week ago.
Listen, finasteride and minoxidil. 6%, baby.
All right, Chavo. This was going strong for a while. Escalation. We get into our finisher fest that
Yep.
Cena loves to do for Mania matches.
Yep.
And then
For no fucking reason.
no,
Yeah,
there's
I
a
know.
reason.
The world's worst song.
Will we ever hear why? Who knows? But the new contender for the guy with the worst creative control possible. Hogan was in contention. Jericho's in contention. But Rock is coming out the winner.
Yeah.
Because Travis Scott comes out to no explanation, to no connection that there has been since Elimination Chamber in the story. We've not been told about it. And it's out of the blue. And we're all kind of going, okay, maybe Rock will come out. Maybe we'll get a little something explained. The ref has taken a bump previous to this.
Right.
And we're getting into scrambles of, all right, we're trying to cheat to win here.
Yep. Sure.
And Travis Scott comes out, and this is when I lost it. Not because of Travis Scott. I'm still on board, but because there's zero fucking urgency
100%. Yes. That it
to
took
coming out.
It took him forever to get to the fucking
He
ring.
took longer than all of Randy Orton's WrestleMania entrances previously to get to the fucking ring.
This was an Undertaker entrance. And also, again, holding a championship belt for some reason.
A
Because
hardcore belt again.
yeah, I cannot stand this human being. This was so irritating to me. It completely sucked all of the air out of what was happening. And Cena didn't make it better when he got to the ring.
He tried.
It was so fucking boring. This couldn't have been less interesting and less exciting, even when Cody got his hands on him. I'm just like, I could not give two fucks. At that point, I was just like, all right, well, this is the main event.
I don't blame Travis Scott with the exception of like no urgency to come down to the ring. I blame The Rock 100%.
100%. Who would have thought after all these years it was The Rock could be making the Make-A-Wish for somebody during Cena's last WrestleMania? Because he definitely was just like, you want to be in WrestleMania, Travis? Yeah, you'll be my friend if I let you be in WrestleMania, right? It was terrible. Why is he there?
We'll never know because they're not spending the time to explain it on television. So he comes down, and this is when logically then I go, now I'm doubly out because the ref is awake because it's night 3 of WrestleMania at this point. By the time Travis Scott comes down to the
plenty
ring.
of time to wake him up. He's had some coffee. And
he thought he heard his own heartbeat. He's like, no, it's that fucking song.
So bad.
And so Travis Scott grabs Cody and Cena grabs Cody and is saying like, Travis Scott, do you want to hit him? And the ref is going, oh, come on now. This is all I can do because The Rock says we're going to allow this in a match that has disqualifications, but don't do this, guys. Cody breaks free. And I go, wait, you were just going to fucking cost yourself the match and the title right 100%. There? Ref gets bumped again later.
Wait, really? A second time?
Oh, yeah. The ref gets bumped like 2-3 times. So the
ref I remember the second one.
The ref goes down again. So then Cena gets into hijack mode. Like, oh, okay, now I'm going to hit him with the title. and I hit Cody with the title and then I throw the title away. I got to hide my cheating. You didn't hide your cheating a moment ago. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
It felt like a perfectly fine match that was going to be okay. The Rock got his creative control button and went like, oh, we're going to add this, make it work. And everyone's going, I don't know how to make it work. They didn't make it work. It is a perfectly great match ruined by the element of insertion of a guy that doesn't have any connective involvement in the story.
Right.
So that's why it sucks. Like, again, I'd like to hate Travis Scott and be pissed off at it, but he did a poor job of what he was told to be involved in.
And it ultimately didn't really affect the outcome of the match at all whatsoever. Because even by the time, because Cody just takes care of it and moves on. And then whatever was going to happen could have happened without any of that happening in the first place. The Cody could have simply tried to console the ref and then pick up the ending of the match exactly where it would be when he was worried about Travis Scott. And you have the exact same outcome without completely and totally halting and sucking all the air out of your main event with somebody who, again, I know you're like, you don't blame him. I do. I fucking can't stand the guy. And I get that maybe it's Rock's decision, but I don't care. Pretend like there's a fight happening. Pretend like there's a main event. Pretend that something is on the line here. You're just fucking moseying on down to the ring like you just happen to be in the neighborhood. And with no intent, not like you're coming down there because the ref is out and you want to give Cena your hardcore title to use. Like, there's literally no fucking point to anything you're doing. You're there for the sake of being there. It's almost as if he just wandered in from his seat. And
it was hard to find a parking spot.
It was terrible. I'm glad that Cena won. That was the outcome I wanted for this. But it was in my opinion, it's a bad match because of all of this.
100%.
And it is.
It had the potential to be great.
This is a massive stain for Cena's last WrestleMania match.
It's a stain for everybody. This is a bigger stain for all things TKO, for Triple H, for saying yes to allow this to happen, to still not making it make sense.
Right.
When he had 2 months since Chamber
to
do it.
Yep.
And to have it now. And this, at the end of the day, like, I thought it was an overall okay Mania and all that. I agree that it was a bad match. It's a little bit more egregious than some of the shit that Russo did ultimately, when it comes to booking a main event.
Right. Chaos.
And it's when I see the sea of people and then I go, God damn, people spent so much money for these tickets.
Yep.
There are so many executives that got priority over wrestlers, family, and friends. There are so many people that worked at Netflix that weren't allowed comps. Press were not allowed comps. So much that because they're so hot and because they're owned by TKO, that the general public is priced out to go to WrestleMania. And this is now getting where we see Saudi Prince, an executive. Not, he wasn't the Prince. He's, a guy, but the rich are allowed to go to this event and the rich are being catered to.
Right.
The rich are allowed to come in and fuck around with the main event. It all came to a surface and I go, oh, I don't like this, where this is heading at all. It had this at Raw debut on Netflix.
Right.
And
yes. 100%.
And it appeared again. And that's not going away.
No.
Like, that's a bad stink.
And if that is,
so that's why I want to focus away from Travis Scott as not just the focal point. It's
sure.
Like,
it's
all these rich people
Rock,
said this was good. All these rich people were saying, no, price the tickets higher. And this is what you give them for the main event of a night 2?
For Cena's last ever Mania
and for Cody, that everybody's invested
his first heel Mania, like all of the, the epicness that was, on the shoulders of this specific event.
Like, not okay. Yeah. Not okay to charge all this and fuck people over in this way.
Nuggets in chat says, also, Cody being conflicted about hitting Cena with the belt was stupid after the fight he had with KO. He should be smarter. Yeah, we kind of also did see that story with KO recently, and he came out the other side of it. So that also felt like a retread of, I almost would have rathered Cody just be bad at cheating. Do you know what I mean? Like go for it, but then not succeed.
I think Cena could have gone further with each step.
Right.
He's begging him off.
Right. Oh, we didn't talk about.
And Cody's going like, I'm going to fucking hit you. And then like go to your knees and go like, Cody, please. Like,
yes.
Now I do want to hit you. Like, I'm begging everybody.
You were right. You were right. I love
turn
them.
into the crowd, and that could have given Cody more opportunities to not just be conflicted. Each step could have been like, oh, fuck you,
or even like challenge him. Like, go ahead, do it. You know what I mean? Call his bluff. That was the other thing too. Is when the nut shot main events continue because there was also a nut shot in this. I was like, why are we doing that again?
WrestleMania 41, 2 nights, 6 balls, 1 lawsuit. That's what's on the poster.
I love it. Yeah.
Just one of the worst endings to a Mania ever.
It really might be one of the worst endings to a Mania of all time.
ruining a perfectly good match.
Yeah. No, I agree. Up until that point, I wasn't like...
It wasn't going to be, an all-time...
It wasn't going to be him and Rollins.
They reinvent the wheel or something like that, but... The stakes involved, seeing these two for the first and only time,
Cena wrestling as a heel is working. Yeah, all that stuff was working.
And they couldn't trust in it. They catered to the people that had the money to go, we have to do this. This was bad. For as much shit as you want to give Vince for the previous few years.
Right.
The guy who's running creative said, "Yep, we'll do it."
Yeah.
And it fucking stunk.
Yeah.
And when he's saying for all week, the internet wrestling fans don't matter, and I don't read that shit, and it doesn't matter. It does.
Yeah.
But there are times when it really does.
It does.
And that was bad. That was real bad.
So match of the weekend for you, if you had to pick one.
If I had to pick one, I think I go LA Knight, Jacob Fatu.
Wow, really? I think I got to go night one main event, the triple threat. I think that story was just so fun, and Punk and Rollins are just so fucking good, and Roman's really good when he wants to be. Yeah, I think that's probably mine. A little bit of a stink on it because of my new outlook on Roman Reigns as a human being, but I guess that's life as a wrestling fan.
There were certainly good matches overall.
Yeah.
I think there were plenty of moments that were delivered for fans. I know the Joe Hendry thing's huge.
Sure, yeah.
That's great. A lot of people got great moments overall, and I'm more excited for some upcoming TV.
Yeah, we've got Raw tonight in just a couple hours here. Do you have any expectations for?
Cena said in the presser, tune in on Monday and you'll see me ruin wrestling.
Oh, interesting. That's fun. I like that.
I like
That's a
that.
good angle.
So that means I guess Travis Scott will be out there again.
Did you see Killer Cross's
tirade? Yeah,
his tirade that wasn't on TV.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun. I don't know what that's going to lead to or what that's for, but that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also saw, I think Jay Uso was drunk as shit at the at the presser afterwards.
I'm excited to see Dominic and what he's going to do.
Right. Is he's
just going to be ducking challenges? Yeah, he's a Raw guy.
Yeah, that's fun.
What Braun Breaker goes forth, what Gunther will go for. I see Gunther being one of those guys that takes a few weeks off.
Right.
And something happens.
Right, yeah.
How we're going to get to St. Louis with Backlash and Tamina. So there's certainly things in place. What's Cody gonna do? Does he get a rematch? Does he not get a rematch?
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what happens with Rollins and Heyman. I really want to know whether or not we're gonna get Heyman as the advocate for Rollins and have what is Heyman gonna add to what Rollins is doing, because Heyman is such a integral part of anybody he's with's presentation, and Rollins' presentation, like you said, is so steeped in all the things that he does that whether you like them or dislike them, they're fucking there. How is that going to be affected by what Heyman is doing?
Hopefully in a
positive way. Yeah. I wouldn't mind a ladies and gentlemen out of him. It's been a while. Oh, that was a missed opportunity that I thought we were going to get at the opening of that triple threat on night one. I thought for sure, because Heyman always grabs the mic for Roman's entrance for the announcement. I thought for sure that they were going to save the announcement so they were all in the ring.
And does Punk.
And then he was going to not, and Roman would be looking at him are you going to do it? And then even the ring announcer's all right, in this corner of Pensacola, Florida, Roman Reigns. And then, and from Chicago. And then that's when he reaches and we get a really good Chicago or, really good CM Punk. I don't know. I thought that would have been a fun way to do that.
That could have been a fun way to do.
Anyways.
They didn't do it.
Nugget says she has to leave, but very fun hanging out with you. Thanks again for joining us today, Nugs.
Yeah, thanks for everybody for joining in on the chat and giving your WrestleMania thoughts.
Yeah, anything else? Any other final thoughts for Mania?
I think the scope of WrestleMania that there's been before and the expectations sometimes, the presentation of this WrestleMania 41 in large part felt like a big Raw on Netflix debut.
Okay.
there are elements that you can draw on from the Vince McMahon WrestleManias, and I think take a couple of them if you don't have anything new to add.
Right.
With the video package to start the show wasn't there. The Dana White one that happens pre-show wasn't what I would
don't know what you're talking
consider
about.
that. People arriving to the building like they do on a Raw is like, no, this is WrestleMania.
Right.
Why are we seeing them just stroll up with a bag?
Right.
I don't want to see that for Mania.
Right.
You can do it for fucking Backlash or whatever. But
Sure.
No.
Yeah.
No, for your main events, like you don't want to check in with each competitor throughout the night,
Right.
and have an interview and
Right.
some hype. That's not there.
Right. How you feeling today?
Just a couple of elements to overall make it feel different. Mania's got to feel different than all the other shows. Ultimately,
as I've been saying for years and years at this point, I'm sure people tired of hearing it. Like
Glenn Jacobs for mayor. He already got it. What else do you want?
Fuck that guy. I think Mania is too big for wrestling, like for what the art form is. Personally, I think that is going to be a problem from now on. I think that once it got to that point, we're never going to take a step back. We're never going to get. I mean, God, what I wouldn't give for a Mania and MSG again. You know what I mean? Like smaller scale. I think the stadiums are great for your pictures, but I think they're bad for wrestling most of the time. And I do think that the expectation, the way it's presented, sometimes like what wrestling is and the way a fucking, a mid-card storyline is going to come to a head isn't going to be able to ever meet that. Especially when you have how many matches over the course of the weekend? 14?
Yeah. 7 and 7.
I mean, like I think it's just too much. And I think I'm always going to feel like WrestleMania is a letdown for the hype of WrestleMania. That doesn't mean that I think the matches are all bad, but I think that like what we're sold all month leading up to it, and for pretty much 2-3 months since Rumble, what you're sold all months, you fucking day in, day out, every TV, this thing's coming, and then you get there and it's still just wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I love wrestling, so that's okay. But it's like, at some point, you're overshadowing, you're shooting yourself in the foot because you're overselling what is going to occur every single time to an extent. So that's kind of how I feel about Mania from now on. I think that's why, there are still some pay-per-views that are just like, oh, this felt so much better because the hype wasn't.
It was one night.
Yeah, and the hype wasn't so much going into it that it actually delivered on their promise and extended and beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas most of the time, even when Mania delivers, it's still delivering at the promise, not any greater.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So a little bit of business to address before we close out our show. Jake alluded to earlier, Tangerine Palpatine has made life more difficult for me and all things personally. So a couple things that are happening on my end of life that will change the show and possibly scheduling and formatting and all that kind of stuff. And my presence being here, my job is in jeopardy. Our family financial situation is very much in jeopardy. And my father, who we were able to provide and for him to be in an assisted living facility, is already jeopardized. So he will be moving home and I will be a caregiver 24/7. So I probably have one more round of coming to Los Angeles to record live with Jake. Unfortunately, I think we're going to have to revert to the days of old or the days of Thunderdome when I would remotely call in and we doing Zoom, and our timing is
a little bit off.
Impeccable.
Yes. And that might affect the fact that whether or not we're live for a little while, because we have to reset all of that up because that's a whole other process that we've never done since I've been here. There might be we might have a few weeks where it's just a podcast like it used to be.
Yep. And we're going to have some hitches in our giddy ups. And so I apologize for all that. I'd rather not be this way. It's been a brutal week to find all this shit out. And I'm hoping that you all have patience for it and will go along with us to figure out whatever it is we need to figure out. I hope to keep continuing to do the show. I don't think it'll affect it in that way, but there's major shifts and I got to figure out what to do.
Yeah, things are going to be up in the air for a little while. And so just hang out and stick with us. wrestling's not going anywhere. And anytime we have the opportunity to, ensure that we can just get together, shoot the shit, be live with you guys, and, kind of all just distract ourselves from the nightmare of our fucking world with this ridiculous fantasy that we all love, we will try to do that to the best of our ability.
Yes. So with that, we have a Patreon, everybody.
We do.
Tell your friends, tell everybody else.
Even if you don't have access to a current brand new live stream like the one we're on today, you do have access to a massive library of all of the live streams we've ever done, as well as the entirety of the Watch Along Wednesday series, which has video watch alongs where you can it's picture in picture. You don't need to sync up the audio with your screen. You can just turn it on, watch it. All of that stuff is right there on the Patreon, patreon.com/PWPalskis. There is so much in that library, a massive catalog of material there. And a lot of stuff that is evergreen. It's not like it's just reviews of shows that you watched 5 years ago. Like the stuff on the Patreon, I think the vast majority of it is evergreen. The original encyclopedia, some of our series where we did stuff like Table for Me, where we talked about like, hey, who do you want to grab a meal with? Like all sorts of fun things that have nothing to do with whatever happened that week in wrestling. So that stuff is, good forever.
Yeah.
All available there for just $5.
And the watch-alongs, as you had alluded to earlier, there's a video element now where you can actually see us on the screen watching the match. So it's all built in right there. You don't have to worry about syncing everything up. And so you get a little MST3K action for that. And it's fun. And you know what? This week, I'll tell you, we're watching the triple threat match from Wrestlemania.
Which one?
What? We're watching the ladies one.
Oh, really? Oh, I
know you loved it so much.
Good,
so
good,
I was like,
I thought
I was
for
going
sure
to pick something that I'm like, I love this one. And then I saw how much you loved it in the Discord and I go, okay.
Well, I actually thought for sure, based on the conversation we just had, that you were going to pick the street fight because I was like, you're going to convince me that's better.
That's what I had picked. And I went,
oh,
no. You had so much love and admiration for that. Like, and so did everybody else. Clearly it's like,
okay.
Why am I going to go against the grain and go,
let's do it.
No, everybody, we're going to watch this one instead. This one, look at fucking Damian Priest's face. No. We're going to watch the ladies triple threat and have a good old time.
So that'll be this Wednesday.
Yeah. That's our watch along Wednesday for this week. But we got Tony Griggs is coming up. And so, yeah, when you're a member of our Patreon and you're the champion, you choose a watch along. Tony Griggs is coming up. So we're going to watch that one
next
as well.
week.
The following. Or our schedule's a little.
I think it's next week, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's all a little wonky. We recorded some stuff out of order because we didn't have all the elements.
Right.
But yeah, and then next month, who knows what it'll be? Maybe you'll choose the Sin City Street Fight. No, you won't.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Maybe they will now that you put it out there. People love doing that shit.
Do they?
Yeah, they love being like, oh, they brought it up, so now I'm going to do the thing that they said.
Oh, yeah. Like you hate really long matches for watch along.
Yes. So any Mania match really is a problem for me. But I digress. Scott Narver, we have a lot of current Patreon Palskis we need to thank.
Yes, so thank you to everyone who helps contribute to the show. Adrian Avina, AJ0314, Alex Pierce, Alice Rader, Andrea Beeler, Gilbert Short, Mass Lama, Mexican Stallion, Michael Beltran, Mike Lucas, Suicide, Tim Redbeard, Tom Hader, and Tony Griggs, the current PWB champ. Thank you for supporting again. $5 every month for all of 2025 gets you every single thing that there is.
It's a deal that cannot be beat. And we'll show you the promo packages. We won't cut to a commercial.
That's right.
Yeah. We don't have any promo packages, but if we did,
it would be dude wipes and it'd be a tutorial.
No, I specifically said it wasn't commercials.
Yeah, but you saying if we did.
Okay. All right.
We'd still we'd use dude wipes during our watch alongs. Best of both worlds.
Hey, check out the shop at pwpalskis.com. Snag yourself some merch. We got some t-shirts. We got hats, like this beautiful hat that I rock. We also got some new like fun corduroy hats that are in the shop now. We got phone cases.
That'll keep you warm during the winter time.
Yeah, we got phone cases and mugs and hoodies, all sorts of great stuff. That goes a really long way in supporting the show and helping us keep the lights on. I think that'll do it.
Yeah.
Scott Narver, Wrestlemania was fun. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. We hope you had a blast. It's always a great time hanging with you, the Pro Wrestling Palskis.
It's Dragon Wagon.